Ken said, "Oh man, you're gonna start with me." All right, what's up, Mr. K-Smooty?
Good afternoon. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. You excited?
Yes, I am. Ready to see if we can get something done today.
All right, so you've been on here a couple of other times. The first time you were on here, wasn't it with? Have you been on here with Jerry before?
Yeah.
It wasn't a live. That was for an implementation call. But the video that prompted me to want to get into to you was because you guys did something like this, and I saw the students come on, and I said, you know what? If they can do it, this is a community I need to be in. So here I am.
There you go. I love it. Full circle moment for you right here. Now you're the guy. So, all right, well, it's your turn to go inspire somebody else to hop into TU today. So, you got the spreadsheet. You get the most ideal spot. You get to pick whatever lead you want to call. Now, listen, Jerry and I have proven that when you try to cherry pick, normally we're wrong. Like Jerry and I have regularly picked the wrong ones early on, and then like an hour and a half in, we get the lay down, and we're like, we passed on that like 20 times. So my question
goes to show, RJ, just do the calls, guys. Don't get hung up on what the motivation is or whatever. I stopped worrying about any of that. Just call on the list. That's all.
Yeah. So that being said, Ken, I got to ask you, how are you going to pick your lead?
I'm gonna just start from the top.
Oh, okay. He's going to start at the top. All right. Well, fire away, man. Let's get it going.
Right,
now, while he's dialing, RJ, can you and I chit chat?
Yeah.
So when you look at these, property leads provides the reason for selling. So when they pre-qualify, they find out. I think there must be a drop-down menu of 7 or 8 different options.
Hey, good afternoon. Is this Wanda?
Who's this?
Hey, my name is Ken. You actually submitted a form on my website about a property you're looking to sell on Cedar Lane.
Yeah, but honey, I'm at work right now. Can I call you back in about 15 minutes or so?
About 15 minutes or so? Absolutely.
All right. Which number you're calling from?
Yes, please.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Keep going. Hey, 1 for 1 on the connection rate, though.
Yes.
I saw that there was a post in the vault yesterday. People were asking about lower connection rates. And that has been across the board. It's not
forwarded to an automated board.
No voicemail, just keep dialing.
You can leave voicemail. Callbacks are powerful, man.
Okay.
Jerry, have you also seen connection rates across the board kind of taking a dip?
Yeah, I think so. Not only that, but
hey, good afternoon. Is this Dave?
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, this is Ken giving you a call. You just submitted a form on my website about a property you're looking to sell on Cherry Street.
Yeah, but could I call back, or could you call me back after 5? I'm at work right now.
I sure can. How's about 5:15 good for you?
5:30, that way I'm home by then.
About 5:30. All right, sounds good. We'll do. Thank you.
Thanks.
Ken, one thought too is I always tell sellers, if I don't answer, text me.
Okay.
Because you might be on the phone or something, and I hate when then they don't leave anything, and now you're kind of wondering or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. That's 2 for 2 on the connection rate right there. And the other thing I would say there, Ken, is I always like to just ask them real quick, just for my sake of mine, did you have an asking price? Just to get that, because then it's like when we go into it, you could kind of already know if it's a really good deal, what the price is. You can kind of comp and underwrite it a little bit before knowing that you're going to speak to them at 5:15.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've seen, RJ, is when people say, I got to go, I can't talk right now. If you ask like that one little before you go question, sometimes they just keep talking and you end up having a 20-minute conversation anyway, because it's actually not true. They're at work, but they're not working, or, they just sort of loosen up sometimes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. That's one thing too. I know when we had our one-on-one a few weeks back, RJ, we were talking about my connection rates being low because I was calling like some older leads. I will say, since I've kind of gotten back into property leads over the last week and a half or so. I have gotten much better connection rate. So
Love it. Keep going, man. Those don't count. We ain't kicking you off for just saying they're at work.
Yeah. Another thought, RJ, I'd love to hear your opinion on this.
oh, this is that first seller calling back actually.
All right.
Hey, good afternoon, Wanda. Thanks for returning my call.
You just call me.
Yes, this was about the property you're looking to sell over on Cedar Lane.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you buy houses or are you a realtor?
No, ma'am. I will be looking to buy this property from you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we're asking 545 and no less than that.
545, no less than that. All right. What's got you looking to sell it?
No less. Pardon me?
What's got you looking to sell it?
We have another property that's a little smaller and we'd like to downsize.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you already have the other property, what's stopping you from holding on to this one?
I'm sorry?
I said, since you already have the other property, what's stopping you from holding on to this one?
From doing what now?
From holding on to this property, why don't you want to keep it?
I don't want to. It's like 30, 40 minutes away. I don't want to rent it. I'm already renting the other one.
All right. You said it's about 34 minutes away from where you live?
40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
About 40 minutes away.
All right. How'd you come up with that price of 545?
Because it's valued at 590. So it would be a lot less than what it was valued for.
Why don't you want the full market value for it?
I'm sorry. Well, that's you guys would break it. If you want to make 590, that's fine.
Oh no, I'll take a discount if I can get it.
Okay. I don't have a problem doing that.
Let's see here. I'm just curious what's go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, so if that's the case, what's got you looking to sell it to an investor instead of listing it on the market and getting that full value?
Are you interested or not? I'm not here to answer 100 questions.
I am interested. I'm interested in purchasing an investment property. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm interested in purchasing an investment property, not at full market value because that's the opposite of an investment. Okay. Well, I wish you the best with your search for a buyer, okay? Yep.
RJ, you're muted.
I said, Jerry, I'll let you give your feedback there.
Okay.
First.
So what happened? I kind of lost that at the end there. What happened at the end there? Why did we let go of the deal? I mean, she got all butt hurt over you asking her questions, but why did you let her go and say, okay, I'll see you later?
She didn't seem that motivated. She didn't want to sell it below that price there. She had no real reason for not listing it. Okay. I felt like if she really wanted to sell it, she would have kind of engaged me a little bit more.
Did you look up if 545 is up in the clouds or where? What if that was a good price?
She said that the retail value was about 590, so I know it wasn't that much of a discount. You know, I hadn't started comping yet. I'm trying to delay my comping process because I usually tend to get into numbers too quickly. Yeah.
So one thought I do just to get a reference is I immediately, when they give me a price and I connect with somebody on the phone, is I'm going to Google that. You can look it up in any comping software, but I just want to see what like the Zillow number is. And if everybody's kind of speaking the same language. So if she says 545, Zillow says 590, they're coming out with a retail number pretty close to retail or slightly below retail. But you got to remember a lot of sellers lead out with a number and that's not actually their bottom line, which is why we do discovery and try to get to the bottom of it. I think maybe where a disconnect happened was you're asking her questions, but she took it as you questioning her decisions and her reasoning, kind of like calling her out as to why she's doing something. And you got to be careful with that because if a seller feels like you're drilling them or you're like, or they're feeling threatened, like you're kind of calling them out on making bad choices around what they're doing, wall goes up, they close down, they don't want to talk to you anymore, and you see that kind of shutdown happening. So like in the beginning, you know, asking questions are good, but like, why aren't you listening with an agent? Why aren't you? And you kind of kept on her about, hey, what you're doing doesn't make sense to me. And she took offense to that. So, you know, when she says 545, you know, you might want to say, hey, I don't know if I can do that number. I'm glad to take a look and dig into this, you know, and then that next question that needs to be sensitive. It be careful that you're not putting her on the spot or kind of making her feel like you're backing her into a corner. Does that make sense? And she, whether you meant to or not, I mean, you didn't mean to, but whether that was the intention, that's how she took it. And, you know, you got to be really sensitive to read the seller when the seller starts, because she started giving you a little pushback. Like you could tell she was put out answering your question. Don't keep drilling down. That's when you kind of loosen up and go, okay, I gotta be funny. I gotta be nice. I gotta try to get her to feel a little more safe with me before I start questioning her motives and going down that route. You know, so like one way to divert away from that is just say, oh, why don't you tell me a little bit about the property? That's a non-threatening question. It gets them talking a little bit more. They loosen up a little bit more. Now that may not be the information you're looking for. You may be looking for, why are you at that number? Why are you keeping this home? You know, those type of things. I don't know the real value in very early on asking, you know, why are you holding on to it? You know, I think maybe that's helpful to get a little bit of like, well, what's the motivation here? But, again, just be a little bit sensitive that you're not drilling her on her decision-making. Right. So those are kind of some of those things. And then, when she said, I'm not here to answer 1,000 questions. Are you a buyer or not? You immediately fired back. Yeah, I'm a buyer. So you kind of came across a little defensive. And I'd be careful of that. No matter what a seller says, none of it's ever offensive to us, right? Because this is what we do. So there's nothing a seller could say to you that's going to offend you or hurt your feelings. Now, that's not the opposite. You say one wrong thing and now they're offended and they're all, you know, that because they're emotional. But we're not emotional, or we shouldn't be emotional. So then what I would have done is I'd have taken a step back and say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. You know, I talk to sellers every day like this. I'm really just trying to understand where you're coming from. I didn't mean to offend you there, you know, and sort of kind of like backpedal a little bit to see if she'll come back around to like opening up to you, you know, rather than be defensive and say, well, yeah, I'm a buyer. Of course I'm a buyer, you know, or, you know, come across that way. Anyway, those are a couple thoughts I had.
Yeah. I'll take it a little bit of a different route, since Jerry, you kind of touched base on those, and I agree with kind of the tone of the call was like y'all were very like kind of butting heads, and you do want to find a common ground that y'all can have a conversation about, and that didn't happen, and I thought it could have happened pretty easily, Ken. Did you ever get this pulled up on Zillow or in a comping software?
No, I had it typed in on PropStream, but I was more so engaging with her. And when she said that she wasn't really going to budge on that price, I figured she already had told me that it was close to the market value. You know, I do see in Zillow that it was just listed at $599. You know, and it didn't list for anything to sell.
That's your talking point. That's why I asked you, did you get this pulled up? Because I agree. I didn't see the value in the question of why wouldn't you just hold on to this? I mean, honestly, Ken, think about the question that you asked. You have another property. Why wouldn't you want to hold on to this $500,000 property? Because I want my $500,000. That's why. What do you mean? I mean, give me my $545,000. I want to go live the rest of my life. The question should have been, all right, so you're asking 545. I see that August of last year, or actually August of 2024, you listed this for $600,000 and it didn't sell. Talk to me about that. What happened? What was the feedback? Because if she would have sold it at 600, which it didn't sell, so she wasn't going to get 600, she probably wasn't even going to get 550. Because if someone was willing to offer 550, they would have offered it. So
and she certainly wouldn't have net 550 after commissions and closing fees.
That's what I was going to say. So you weren't going to get 600. You were going to get less. Then we subtract the commissions. You're actually asking more than what you were going to net when it was listed in 2024, and it didn't sell. But I see that you bought this in 2023 for $430. So how has the property increased in value $115,000? These are the questions that I would have been asking, because remember, when the price is incorrect, and I agree, I didn't sense any motivation, okay? But when the price is incorrect, we want to get educated by the seller on their thought process behind it. You did that to a certain degree. How'd you come up with that number? It's valued at $590, so I'm discounting it to $545. Okay, but you bought it for $430. How is it worth $545 now? Is that just tax assessed value? Did you get an actual appraisal down? You listed it. Did you get any offers? These are the questions that you could have asked. At the end of the day, Ken, that wasn't going to go anywhere. And as much as I love the gung-ho attitude at the beginning, there is a gamification to everything. I love playing games. Do you like playing games, Ken?
I do.
All right. So you just played a game. You were handed a spreadsheet of 45 leads to choose from. You could have chosen anyone. You said, I'm going to start at the top, just work my way down. Basically saying, I'm a closer. It doesn't matter. I just work the leads. What Jerry said. Unfortunately, you fucked around and you found out. The top lead that you got to talk to said, none, no repairs needed, TV commercial ready. My reason for selling is sell without a real estate agent. Every time I read those, that screams probably not a motivated seller to sell a house for a discount. But you could have gone on here and seen full gut needs everything, sell without a real estate agent. That sounds like they probably know that they need to sell for a discount, right? So on the gamification side, probably not the best of decisions there. I like the confidence, though. You were kind of like speaking into existence. Also, in real life, you just call the leads as they come in, right? Ken, I've told you this time and time again. I think you're highly talented. There are just some things that you need to work on in regards to the language that you use and the thought process. I think when it comes to this, you probably need to think a little bit less and just be a little bit more reactionary to what the seller is saying. I think one of the things that Jerry and I both do really well is we slow down and we kind of just think it out loud. Like we'll just look at it and be like, so you want 545 and you listed this a year and a half ago for 600? That doesn't make much sense. And we would say it like that, kind of like humorous, like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe we do get hung up on. We both have on these live streams, but we've also seen us both get six-figure price drops from asking those types of questions.
And I would add, RJ, I mean, at the end of the day, when we do these calls, guys, Ken, if you take this seller right now, what is the likelihood that if and when she gets motivated, even if it's 6 months, a year from now, that she calls back Ken when it's time? Right now, it's zero. But if you leave on a good note, if you leave this on a good note where, hey, maybe we can't come to an agreement, but man, if something changes, call me. I'd love to help you out. There's a remote chance that seller calls you back in the future. And we want to leave every call with the door open, with the hope in our mind that if I have enough of these conversations and I do this every single day, I'm going to get callbacks when these sellers finally get motivated. I mean, I see comments that are like, oh, I get leads like that all the time. Oh, that's a horrible lead. That's not a horrible lead. You're just early in the process to a seller being motivated. At some point in time, this lady's going to wake up. She's going to be ready to sell. And she's going to call somebody. Maybe it's an agent. Maybe it's you. She's going to call somebody or do something more proactive, get more real about selling this property. I want to make it so that when that moment comes in time, they think, Oh yeah, I talked to this guy, Jerry. I saved him in my phone. I'm going to call that guy because I had a great conversation. I don't remember what we talked about, but I remember I liked him. I trusted him. I felt like we were, we had a real good conversation. That's every call needs to end that way if you're playing the long game.
Right. There has to be a solution there, Ken. You didn't find her problem and you didn't offer her a solution. That's the key there. Every call has to end with some sort of solution there. And in reality, when she said there's nothing wrong with the property, if there was nothing wrong with the property and it was valued at 590, she would have gotten 590. So that's where you should have tried to find out what is the true issue as to why your house isn't selling. You said, why are you trying to sell this house to an investor? She doesn't know. She just wants her money. That's all she knows. She saw an ad. She clicked on it. She was hoping you were going to say yes to 545. That's it. So, again, I hate that it went down this way because I wanted to see you have a true conversation there. So here's what I want to do. Hang around. If we still got fresh leads at the end, we'll bring you back to try to get a more solid call in, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank you. Thank you both.
All right. See you, man. All right, let's bring up our next caller. Steven, what's going on, brother?
Hey, RJ. Good
You
to
ready?
see you. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, you bet I'm ready. You want to hear
All right.
something crazy?
Yes.
So, Cesar Lacosta, he does call reviews, I think every Monday. And right before joining TU, I did a review with him just for kicks. And I think Ken did a review with Cesar the week prior. So
There you go.
There we
here
go.
I am again, following right after Ken.
There you go. All right. So if you see over on the right in the private chat, there's a Google Doc of leads. You see that?
I do.
All right. So those are all of our leads. You got the repairs needed, the reason for selling, the time frame, everything that you could choose any of those leads. The green are the ones that Ken called. I'll mark them green if they answered. I'll mark them red if they didn't. You get to choose which lead you want to call.
I appreciate it, RJ. If you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and just call some of my own leads, if that's just as good with you.
Can we got to call these.
Yes, sir.
In respect for property leads. They gave them to us, so I want to respect them.
Oh, I understand. Thank you, property leads. All right, cool. So anything after the green works?
Anything after the green, yeah. You don't want to call
All
those
right.
greens. By the way,
All
Ken
right.
is also going to be getting a call back on that one. I'd be curious to see how that one turns out for him. Which one you calling?
I think I'm going to call row 6, Cheryl Marion on 3333 Pioneer Drive there.
It's Cheryl Kelly. Marion is the county.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Cheryl Kelly. Good.
You picking that because of the location, or why'd you pick that one?
You know what? I was just looking at repairs and maintenance needed, and I just saw a remodel
Gotcha.
on it. You know, Oregon doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I mean, I said I'd do it, so I better do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So while he's dialing, RJ, the reason on that one is sell without a real estate agent. So guys, when you pick one of those, be ready for them to take the retail value less what they think are commissions, and that's the number they're thinking. And this goes back to Ken a little bit, RJ, and I know you run into this all the time. For some reason, sellers think investors will pay full retail, less commissions.
Yep.
And it's really common. And so we look at that and we think unmotivated seller, it's really uneducated seller. And so like I have a conversation and I help them understand, look, an investor paying cash is not paying retail less commissions. They need a much bigger discount for it to make any sense at all. Yeah. And so like most of the time when I see that, it's just helping that seller understand that the way you're looking at this is totally off. That's not how investors work.
Facts.
They pay retail less, 60%.
Was that a voicemail there, Steven?
It was, yeah.
All right. Do me a bit. When you call, are you on speakerphone?
Yeah, I'm just speakerphoning on my cell phone, but I can also use
I just want to
recently?
make sure that we can hear the seller. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, yeah. What's the best way to do that? If I were to call with Resimply, would you think our audios would sync up?
Is your microphone the headset?
Yep.
You're just gonna have to hold your phone on speakerphone close to the microphone.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that. So we're gonna go to the next seller in Edinburgh, Texas here.
Got it.
Mr. Oscar Gonzalez on row 8 there. All right.
I know everybody thinks that Jerry's frozen, but he's not. He's just that stoic.
I'll see if this person is available.
Steve, purchasing property.
Thanks, Steve. Please stay on the line.
Hello?
Hey, is this Oscar?
Yes.
Hey, Oscar. This is Steve with Co-Pilot Home Buyers. I'm just calling to ask about your property on 2121 Las Palmas. It looks like you spoke with someone on my team about needing to sell it. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. All right. How much do you want to get for it?
4 to 450.
4 to 450. All right. How did you get to that number?
The square footage and all the amenities I have on mine.
All the amenities. All right. Yeah. Okay. What do you have going on?
Huh?
What do you have going on?
Well, I got a swimming pool. I got a 4-car golf course. I don't know. I got a lot of things.
Okay, man. You said a four-par golf course? What's that mean? I've never heard of that before.
Well, 4 holes.
Oh, 4 holes. Okay. Okay. A quick little 45-minute jaunt. That sounds nice.
Yep.
So, okay, what makes you want to sell this place? What's the occasion?
No big deal. Just probably moving with my daughter.
Are you moving in with your daughter?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Is she in town or where's she at?
Yeah, she's in town.
She's in town. All right. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see here. And what condition do you want to leave the property in? I mean, what's it like right now?
It's very good.
All right.
Nice grass, nice trees, lots of shrubs,
Okay.
swimming pool.
Okay. I'm looking at it on Google Maps right now. It looks nice. I mean, what makes you, why don't you want to sell it with like an agent and list it on the MLS?
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
Oh, you're gonna do that if I don't come through? Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, shoot. I think if time is no object, that's the way to go. But I mean, do you have a need to do this quickly and easily?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how I can make money investing in this property here. See, because you're asking somewhere in the fours, and golly, like I'm looking at it on Zillow right now. I just don't see any profit in it for me if I buy in the fours. Um, yeah, yeah. Well, let me just look at it a little bit more. Yeah, it says 311 on Zillow, and you know, um, yeah, I just don't see how I could get to 4. What do you think? What do you think you would realistically want for it if you wanted?
No less than 400.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, yeah, that's good. That's good. I think I think you go ahead. I think you're better off talking to an agent, telling them what you have going on, and seeing what they can do for you. Because I'm not the solution here for you, but I wish you the best. You're welcome. Bye bye. All right. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Jerry.
Well, I mean, I think you called it right. I mean, super retail. One thing that I do is when they give a retail number, I mean, it's not even retail. When they give a number so far away from retail that we're nowhere even remotely close, I tend to take a little bit more aggressive approach, which you got around to. But I would say, look, I just pulled this up on Zillow. It's showing 300. Paying you 450. I don't see in my wildest dreams what could possibly be going on here where I would pay that much more than Zillow. So I'm just super confused, sir, like where you're getting 4 to 450. And then I would probably even very early on, I would reset expectations big time. I would say, you know, if you were to get offers from cash buyers like me, not you, but other ones like you, you're probably going to get offers in the mid hundreds or 200 or somewhere significantly lower than the retail value of 300. And right out of the gate, what I'm doing when I do that is it's sort of like, how does he respond to that? And by the way, you can pull that off with this guy because he was really friendly and open. But how does he respond to that? Does he go, oh, well, hold on a second, I'm on 5 acres, or wait a minute, I put $100,000 into it, or maybe then he'll start to come out with where he's coming from. But like, we're not even anywhere remotely close to where we would need to be to even have a conversation with this guy. He's so far out in left field at 4 to 450 on a 300 Zillow. So like in that, now if he would have come out and said 300, I'm like, okay, he's leading out with Zillow. Or if he would have said anything under that, somewhere sort of retail-ish, then in my mind I'd be thinking, well, he's just giving the pie in the sky number. And now we got to actually have the conversation and see if there's motivation. But when they're that far off, it's sort of like, you know, how do you shock him? How do you kind of like do a little wake up here before talking about anything else? That's kind of how I would approach that one.
Yeah.
Got it.
Steven, how long you been talking to sellers?
Golly, RJ, I think I've been talking to sellers since this past November. That's when, you know, I just bought a bunch of PPLs and went to town. Yep.
Okay. So about 6 months in, one of the things I would say is I'd like to see you get a little bit more fluid and comfortable with the opening there. There were some things that were a little bit alarming to me. It could be nerves. I get it. You know, you're not used to be on YouTube. You got RJ and Jerry sitting here staring at you, listening to that's probably uncomfortable, right?
It's pretty unreal.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that, but we're just normal guys, especially Jerry. I mean, he's about the most down to earth person of all time. He plays with pigs and cows every day, so you're cool. The opening line, which was you talked to someone on my team, that's not property leads, right? Property leads, they filled out a form. You made it through there, right? And then you said, how much do you want? He said 4 to 450. And then you immediately said, how did you come up with that number? The how did you come up with that number needs to be asked, but not there. Because what it kind of does is you just immediately are like, without knowing anything, that felt like a big number. 400, 450, how'd you come up with that number? And then it took away the ammo of what Jerry just told you needed to say, which was, it's 311 on Zillow. How'd you come up with that number? That's when you should have said it. But you said, how'd you come up with that number? And he told you something about a pool and the 4-court golf course or something. I don't know what he was saying. We could barely hear him. But the order of operations there threw you out, because then when he gave you the answer, then you said, well, what you got going on? And it felt weird. It didn't feel like that's how you would talk to your buddy, right? That's not how you talk. And so if you had just kind of flowed a little bit better, you probably still would have asked the exact same questions, but you would have gotten a much better response because you would have been equipped with what Jerry was talking about, which is when you look this up, 400 to 450 is a wild number on this property. I mean, it's just absolutely wild. You're crossing major streets to get to that price point. It's way out there. So this was
the curb appeal sucks. It's not even a good looking house.
But here's the thing, Steven, this was never going to be closed on this call. Okay. But going back to what we said on Ken's call, the reason why we do these lives is not necessarily to come in here and get a signed contract. Yeah, we want that, and that's awesome, and we'll clip it and show it and all that. But this is the real part of the business. How do you navigate these calls? When people ask me and Jerry on YouTube, hey, what should my KPIs be? And then we give our team KPIs, and people go, how? That seems impossible. It's because we close these or a percentage of these 6 months from now. Because we want to be the guy that tells this guy the truth. Sir, your house isn't worth $450,000. And here's the reason why. Here's the facts. Here's what's going on. Yeah, you pointed him in the right direction. So you offered him a solution. But was it a memorable solution like Jerry was talking about earlier? Is he going to remember that conversation? And are you going to be the one that he calls 4 months from now when now there's a more motivation? He's moving in with his daughter. Why is he moving in with his daughter? Did he tell you that?
I never asked.
What if it's because he's going to die in 2 months? And then what happens if you don't sell your house in 2 months and you die, sir? You see, the questions are important because suddenly with 2 sentences, I just made your eyes go, oh, well, now there could have been a massive amount of motivation that we didn't find out. And it doesn't happen all the time. But on the 10% that it does happen, that's how we close these.
I'd add to that, RJ. You know, one of the things that when you lead out with what price are you hoping to get, which is awesome, like that's really great. But if you're not prepared for the response, then you got to slow down. So when they give you a number and you have no idea what relation that number is to anything, don't fire back with just where'd you get that number from? Otherwise, you're not coming from somewhere of value. You're coming from somewhere of just reflex. So what you'll see RJ do, and I'm this way too, is you'll hear RJ say, all right, let me take a look and see what's going on. And it's quiet and he's looking it up. And then I know what RJ would have done when he looked it up. He would have been like, whoa, Zillow's showing 311. You just told me 4 to 450. I'm super confused. What's got you thinking 4 to 450? Now you're asking a good question because you're not just following like a script. You're actually following a conversation that flows in the way it should.
And on that note, your reaction to 450 insinuated that it was a negative thing. What would have happened, Steven, if you looked it up and the ARV on this property was 1.2 million? Would you have regretted saying, how'd you come up with that number, and kind of insinuated that it was a bad number?
I sure would have. Yep.
But because what we want to hear is 50,000 or 20,000, that's when we start, our ears perk up and we go, ooh, this could be closable. 400 to 450, that feels like it's not closable. That's a small percentage of houses that would fit this criteria. So we naturally, again, you just kind of made some assumptions there. But overall, I think for being 6 months in, I could definitely see with a little bit of crafting there, more reps, you could absolutely be really solid at this. I would like to get an actual call review in with you. One where it's like from front to back, 10, 15, 20-minute call where the price is incorrect. I want to hear you actually try to overcome that. This was kind of like, it's way too off. There's no motivation. I'm gonna pass on this. I'd like to see a little bit of a different style call there. But that being said, why don't you hang around, since we have had a freaking 75% connection rate. Let's see if we've got extra leads. We'll keep you around at the end. Maybe we'll just do like a medley with you guys just hammering out what's left. Okay.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a little
Good
bit,
job.
Steven.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, RJ.
See ya. All right. Let's bring up Mr. Quinn. Go on, Quinn.
Heck yeah. Excited to be here.
All right. Quinn, you had a pretty decent showing the last time we went live with the Fizzy leads. You had a pretty good call. So
That dude just disappeared. I gave it to Jamil. He called him twice. He blocked his number twice. Like, I don't know what was up with that guy, but it was like
he
crazy
decided he
town.
wanted to not sell his house. That's what happened. But it was still a really good call. So
Appreciate that. I think I'm gonna buck the trend and go for the one that was in Saginaw because I both like that area and it needs a full gut. So
boy.
And a divorce. So let's see what we can do.
Quinn's a man of my heart right there. I get these leads, I go straight to the full guts. Full gut means discounted, baby.
And divorce.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Some
divorce,
time
yeah.
pressure, hopefully.
And ASAP.
Yeah, there we go. I'm not playing. You guys hear it ring? I know my sound canceling kills that a lot.
Yeah, but it's really low. That's okay.
I think that'll be louder if they answer. And I guess I'll probably just go straight down from there. Well, I'll probably skip New York, but
1413996. Sorry, mailbox is full.
alrighty. Let's see.
If you go straight down to the next one, I'm going to be mad at you.
Yeah, I don't. Oh yeah, geez. No, I don't like any of those. Let's go to the foreclosure. Let's try this one. North Dakota. Is Danny Herman have buyers out there?
That's South
just-
Dakota.
That's
Bro,
why I
I'm
asked.
just gonna tell you which one to call. Okay, I'm doing the Babe Ruth moment. Okay, call
All right.
43.
43. Okay. All right. And perfect.
Full gut.
I'm
Is
not-
that why, RJ?
Full gut, emergency reasons. Missouri.
My
Which
eyes
one?
were getting 60. Why does that
Everything
number?
else.
There's a potential alternative number 2 in the far column.
Yeah, I see that.
I think it's the same as the other one.
Oh,
Oh no, there's one number different. Wild. I guess I'll do the one above it if this one doesn't work.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Stephanie, can you not watch this on Titanium University's YouTube channel while making fun of me for drinking a salted caramel cold brew?
Finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey Christine, Quinn Zepeda, please give me a call back at 971-238-9254. Let's see.
The one above.
The one above, yeah.
42, baby.
And 46 if not this one. Let's see. Oh, it's in New York. All right. RG said to do it. I'll do it.
Yeah. Sometimes we got to live with the pains of New York. Did you see that, Jerry?
Hi, is this Bill?
said that.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Bill?
I can now, yeah.
Hey, awesome. Hey, this is Quinn Zepeda's giving you a call about your property there on K Road. You'd filled out a form about wanting to sell. Is that still the case?
Yeah,
Awesome. How much are you looking to get for it?
well, probably more than you're willing to pay.
Oh, what's got you saying that?
Well, I'm redoing the whole place. I gutted it and added on. And if you looked at your thing there, whatever the value was, it's way over now because of the fact that I got over 100 into it.
You've got 100 into it?
Yes.
I heard you right. Okay. So how much you looking to get out of it?
I'd be happier in the queer in the men's room if I could get 140, but probably 120 if I just walk away.
Gotcha. And how'd you come up with 120? Like how you coming with your prices?
Well, just because of what I have into it, and I'd like to make a little profit. So by the time I'm done by the end of this week, I'll probably have close to 110 into it, and that'll leave me set up for the next couple of months to work with all the lumber and all that stuff I have to buy.
And so did you start this remodel thinking it was going to be for yourself, or has this always been an investment, or what's going on with the property?
Well, I'll still live there if I have to, but I've just had enough of these contractors. They're a bunch of woodchucks, and it's making my life hell. They do great work, but they've been working on it for a year.
Your contractors have already been working on this for a year?
Yeah.
Wow. Did people like leave you in the lurch, or how has this been a year project?
Well, I've gone through 11 electricians. They're just slow. They don't work much. But I'm up here in the friggin' boondocks, so in order for somebody to come up here, it's an hour and a half ride for anybody. When everybody's got work right where they are.
So I got you. So what's the plan if you just end up finishing all the work? You list it and just wait, or what do you need to have this sold by any certain time? Like what's going on? What's the situation?
I don't have to have it sold by any certain time, and if I don't get a decent price for it, I'll probably just move into it. But I think I'm looking 5 years down the road the way these guys are going.
I got you. And is that 5 years you want to deal with, or is that why we're talking? You kind of over the whole thing?
I'm over it. Yep.
So are you, I'm trying to do this as a business while solving problems for people. Are you over it enough to, sell at a little bit of a discount where there's some meat on the bone and I can take on the headache and make some money at the end of the day?
You mean lose money on it?
That might happen no matter what, but I guess how much do you need to get out of it to go on your way and just be done with the headache?
I don't know. I'd have to sit down, but at least 125, 130.
125, 130.
And that's without taking a loss. That's,
So that's just kind of what you're all in for. What would be your kind of like break even number?
Yeah.
So you'd need to deal with some more, what did you call them? Woodchuck contractors before you're kind of ready to take a loss on it?
They're woodchucks.
So, right now you say you're 5 years from being done. I'm kind
of being a little facetious.
Yeah. How long into the project are you right now? You said a year?
Yeah, I'm into it for about a year, and realistically, I should be in there by the end of the summer, but I'm not making any bets because I'm not moving up here in the winter. Not moving in the winter time. So I mean, I don't know. I cannot tell you. These guys work like molasses in the wintertime.
And so, assuming everything, we have a blue sky scenario and they finally get their butts in gear and get it done in time. Once it's done, how much do you foresee listing this for?
Probably about 140.
140. All right. And so, and how much of, with what's been done and what hasn't been done, do you have an idea of what the rehab budget remaining is?
I'm gonna say about 10.
You're ready to give up on this, and you've only got 10,000 in repair left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so if I pay you 125, put 10 in it, and resell it for 140, my all-in numbers like 165. I'm fixing to lose $25,000 from the moment I buy it from you.
Okay.
So I mean, help me make sense. How do I purchase this as an investment and make any money, have any meat on the bone?
Well, I'm sure if you got it completely finished the way it's going right now, with the type, I mean, it's rustic. It's got, a nice. We put a stone fireplace, or not a stone fireplace, but a big stone wall with a Pennsylvania blue stone behind the wood stove. It's got a forced air furnace. It's got a coal pellet stove. You don't want to be cold up there. And, everything is going to be done with, rough lumber, and it's rustic. Got solid wood log beams. It's gonna look like a lodge when it's done.
I gotcha.
Stone shower, more blue stone going in the shower. So it's gonna be done nice. It's gonna be real nice.
So of all those things, what's been done and what still needs to be done?
Well, the bathroom needs to be done. The kitchen needs to be done. I'm putting all the wood up right now up on the ceiling. That's about half done.
And those three things would round out the project?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you still got walls and everything, but I've got all the wood for that. I mean, that things. But I'll probably be done with most of that. Because I'm doing that stuff myself and my buddy.
Gotcha. So typically the bathroom and the kitchen is where I know a lot of money's going. I'm wondering.
Pretty much most of it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can get a bathroom, a kitchen, and some ceiling done for 10K. And even if I can, the math you gave me, even at 10K, was already in the red. So I'm just like, I know you don't want to be upside down on this, but I get the feeling, if I'm hearing you right, you don't want to be doing this a year from now either.
No, I really don't. I would like to either be in there or be out of it, be rid of it, get out of here, get out of New York.
So if I were to come in, there's no real estate commissions. I cover all the closing costs. A net number to you in your pocket. What do you think the best you could do for me is?
I had an offer for 85. I turned that down.
Are you wishing you hadn't?
No.
So if I could do a little better than 85, what number would it take to get you to say yes?
It probably wouldn't work for you because I'd want more than you're going to want to pay. I mean, I'm thinking if I walked away with 130 in my pocket, 135 right now, I just walk away.
I don't think that question's ever made somebody's number go up before for me.
It hasn't gone up. I told you in the beginning I wanted 140 for it.
Oh, I got you. I thought I had 125 written down for some reason. Oh, you did say 140. Okay, you came down.
But, I mean, 125 doesn't put me anywhere. I mean, it's going to break me about even.
Yeah, I mean, based on your own math, I'm not sure that you're getting out of taking a little bit of hit on this. It's just how long do you want it to take before that happens?
Well, that's the question, I guess. I don't know. Can you let me stew on it for a little bit?
Yeah. And just to kind of give you an idea, as I've been looking into this, I think I need to be somewhere like mid 90s to like 100, that kind of range for this to work as a cash transaction.
Okay. Let me I'm on my way up there right now, actually. I got to meet a new contractor.
Well, while you're there, snap a couple pictures so we can see what we're looking at some point, since it sounds like it's a bit of a drive out there. And then if you do decide you want to work with me, it'll be one less thing I need from you in the future.
Okay. I can do that. It's pretty rough on the inside right now. I mean, there's stuff everywhere. That's due to these woodchucks I got going on here. So.
I got you.
Right, what was your name again?
Quinn, like the Doctor the Mighty.
The Mighty Quinn?
Yes, sir.
I had to fight with my ex not to name my daughter that.
Yeah. I wish that there weren't so many characters that were female named Quinn as well, but I'll live.
I'm sure you will.
So, I mean, let me ask you this. How long you want to ruminate and stew on this? When would be a good time for me to reach back out to you?
Probably going to stew on it all day and night. How about give me till like the middle of the end of next week?
Middle into next week. So let me look at my calendar.
So
the middle's the 13th and Friday's the 15th. Just give you a call on the Wednesday the 13th. Go from there.
Yeah, you can try. I don't know what my work schedule is going to do to me, but
I'm persistent. If you don't answer, I'll just keep blowing you up.
Yeah, leave me a message. I'll call you back.
Perfect. Okay, well, do you have any other questions about the process, or?
I will, but not right at this moment.
Okay.
Obviously, I would need verification of funds and all that shit. But yeah. No, I'm good for now.
Yes, and then I want.
All right, Bill. Well, it's good connecting with you, and yeah, if anything, right around that like mid 90s range works for you to just have this headache be done, not have to deal with any more contractors, and just move on with your life, then I'd definitely love to hear from you and be the answer to your problems.
All right, Glenn, will do. I appreciate you calling.
All right, I appreciate you. You have a nice day.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, perfect. Bye-bye.
No, she did. Yeah, she did. She wanted the $20.
All right.
Quinn, I muted you while we give you feedback because we can hear in the background, but go ahead, Jerry.
Okay. So I have a lot to say about this one. First of all, I love how you slowed it down. I love your tonality. I love your questions. I love your pacing. I love your logic for the most part. But I think there came a moment here where you had a real opportunity to put on your authority hat and have a real heart-to-heart with this guy. And what I like to do in this situation is say, hey, Bill, why don't we walk through some scenarios? You told me you're into it for 125 or 130. You say it needs another 10. That's going to put you at 140. You also told me that you can sell it for 140, which means if you finish this, you're going to lose X amount. Like walk them through the math. That's option one. Option two is you sell it to an investor like me. You walk away, someone else comes in and finishes it. No investor in their right mind is going to buy this unless they can make on a 140 sale. A flipper is going to want to try to make 25, 30,000. We got to back out other fees. We got to back that out. You know, you're going to be down under 100 at least to dump this thing to an investor. If you're not willing to be anywhere around that, then you're wasting your time because an investor's got to make money. To me, your math is way off. Like when you anchored at, you said 95 to 100. So they heard 100 and that's your anchor number. So if you're the seller, what would you do if someone told you 95 to 100? I'd counter back at 115. You don't have a deal. You need to anchor that thing at 70, 60. Like I would be going, listen, I'll tell you straight up, my math on a 140 house in the middle of nowhere, New York, selling for 140. I'm going to have the same problem you're having getting contractors out there. I got to build in a spread here, dude. So, I mean, I would probably need to be at 60. I'm not going to spend 10. I'm going to spend 20 or 25. You and I both know it's way more than 10. Right. And so like, I would just have that. You built the rapport. You had it. He's eating out of your hand, man. Like, but now you got to get real. There's no way this is a deal for 95 or 100. No one's going to, what are you going to sell it for 105 to somebody? 110 to somebody? And then they got to come in and put 10, which is not 10. Even if they did put 10, they're at 120, selling for 140. So it's just a bunch of false hopes, like telling them 95 to 100. Right. So, but as far as like everything else, I mean, this guy, when he's ready to sell, he's calling you, right? You did such a good job connecting with this guy. So that part of it, like dead on. But I think there was a moment there where you were afraid to be like, there's that moment where you got to make that anchor number because it was time for it. And there's that moment of truth where you're like, what's he going to say when I tell him 60 or 65 or, somewhere down there? Because here's how I'm doing the math. An investor out there is going to want to be at 65% of ARV, at least, maybe 60. So 140 times 0.65 puts you at 91 minus 10, which is not even true, is 81, which means you need to be at 65 or 70 to have a deal. That's the math. That's assuming his numbers are right at the 140 and the 10 and all that.
His numbers are not right. So that's part of it is that I don't know if you saw it in the private chat. There is an active that's fully gutted right now on the market for 130.
Yeah.
And we have properties that are selling that have sold ranging from 375 to 231 with a little bit more square footage. But the seller is right in the fact that this log cabin look is selling for more. So, but we don't want to disagree with their numbers, Quinn, right? We want to take his numbers. And so he was giving you a point of leverage. So to Jerry's point, you could have kind of told him like 140 with 10, even though he was admitting to you that there's no way in the world that 10 could work, right? He's calling them the woodchucks. He's talking about you can't get anybody to come out here and do the work. He was giving you a lot of things there.
And now, even when he said, you asked him such a great question. You said, how do I make money? And then he went on to talk about rustic and a fireplace and this and that. And that was your moment to say, hey, Bill, you're still not answering my question. I get that. It's a nice property, but how do I make money buying it from you for 140 or anywhere near there? How do I make money?
Yeah. But
you using your logic, not my logic, not I think I could get more out of this thing or whatever. Because the one thing you want to think about is, you want to negotiate against his numbers. Unless his numbers are way off, and then you got to kind of bring up real numbers. But when his numbers are off under, which is what RJ's saying, because now you can use his logic to actually come to a reasonable offer that makes sense.
Right. Jerry, it's one of the hardest things I've seen for closers to get used to is make these numbers make sense to me. Why would I buy it for this? And then he tells you, because it's got rustic wood and a fireplace and a kitchen. He's selling you on the place.
Yeah.
But what is he really doing? Avoiding your question.
Yeah.
And then it's the hardest thing for y'all to double down and say, okay, so will you answer my question now? Why am I buying this? How does this make sense? I appreciate you telling me how awesome the fireplace is. That being said, Quinn, I have to tell you, man, I was so impressed with you on this call.
Yeah.
There were moments that you needed to do something different, but for 95% of that call, that was really good. Like your questions, your tonality, your pace.
Timing was really good.
Yes, really good. Which, by the way, Quinn, I don't know if you know this or not, but when you joined TU, you were as awkward as they could possibly be. And I say that like half.
Isn't that hard to believe? He felt so natural.
Yeah, dude, you have really put in the work. And I know that. I mean, you show up to the implementation calls, you show up to all the office hours. I could see the results of that on these last 2 calls that I've heard of yours, but this one right here, I was literally like, dude, this is good. Like, yeah, there's moments that Jerry and I are going to nitpick and we're going to say, you should have done this. But what most people never get is that body of work that you just got to even get to that moment. You earned the right to get to that moment to where you could get a seller to sell you on the property but avoid your question. You earned that right. And most people never even earn that. So that's a win for you. Now, I agree with Jerry. There was a moment in that call where I felt like you gave up on it. Not that you gave up on the close. You gave up on it on this call. And I would love to see a little bit more savage come out in you and say, what was the seller's name? Bill, right? Bill, let's be real. You don't need to go home and think about this tonight. You think about this all the time. That's why you're telling me everything that you just told me. So let's have a real conversation about what you're going to do here and insert everything that Jerry just said. You're going to put 10 more grand in it. You just told me you can't even find a contractor. So where's your 10 grand going to go? Is it going to go to the next contractor that's not going to show up? You're going to waste it. Now what are you going to do? That's 10 more grand that you're going to lose. Like, your story isn't adding up here, Bill.
Yeah.
And if he hangs up on you, guess what? I'm okay with that. When I'm not okay,
he wouldn't though. You had so much rapport with that guy.
But if you shoot him straight and it goes south, I can live with that result. What I can't live with is we do so much right, and then we make the decision to get off of the phone in hopes that we have another opportunity to have that conversation again. Because now you're going to have to do everything that you just did to earn the right to have that conversation again. He's not going to remember this moment next week. It's going to be like, oh, hey, what's up, Quinn? Yeah, man, I can't do 95. I've been thinking about it. That I would just be losing. So you had him in that emotional state where it was ready to, like, let's be real, Bill. Do you want to do this or not? And you said it.
This is what would have been really powerful is if you said, listen, Bill, spend 10 and a bunch of brain damage to lose 20. Because that's what would happen. You'd spend 10 to lose 20. Because if you spend 10 and you sell it for 140, you're losing 20. Or sell it to me right now, all cash, be done, walk away. You're going to lose 40, but you're going to have closure and you're never going to go up there. You're never going to deal with the woodchucks again. You'll be done. How valuable is closure to you right now? If closure is really valuable to right now, dump it right now. You got to get me down where it's a deal and be done with this thing. Like, that's the kind of heart to heart you earned. You earned it. You earned the right to tell him straight up the facts and what his options are.
And that's what I really want your takeaway to be of this, Quinn. You have gone from not knowing anything to learning the skeleton of calls to now getting to the point where you earn the right to have a much different conversation than the majority of the industry will ever have.
Most people never get to that right to have that heart to heart.
Never, ever. And so they're only closing leads that give them the right price or relatively close. You had someone on there that you could have gotten him to come down on price, potentially. And this is where I want you to really understand. You need 9 of those a day, those sellers, then you need to close one of them, and you'll be in the top 1% of all wholesalers. You earn that right to have that conversation. Close one of them a day. You can do that. Those are very realistic. So the skill that you have developed over the past year to get to this point, that's what you've earned. You've earned the right that you know how to do that. Because now I've seen you do it twice, right? So now you are refining to be able to close these. It's that one extra question, that one extra little push, the uncomfortableness that comes with that, where you have to look at a complete stranger and say, Bill, I'm going to shoot you straight, man. I'm your best solution. You just said you're in the boondocks. Ain't nobody calling you to come buy your shit box in the middle of nowhere in New York. But here's what I can do for you. I'll go to work for you for the next 30 to 60 days. I'll wholesale the shit out of this property. I'm connected to all the best dispo companies in the world. We'll get this moved, and we can put 90, 95 grand in your pocket. That's the best you're going to get, Bill. And if you don't believe me, you're going to call me back 120 days from now, and I'm going to tell you I can put 85 in your pocket. Because shit ain't getting better. I don't know if you know this or not. You're making all these jokes. We're like on World War III right now, okay? Property values aren't going to be going up. So we need to move quickly right now and then move on. Do that 9 times and close one, and you get deals. And that's where you start going to that upper echelon. You're that close. I was very, very impressed. I'll be honest with you, Quinn. That was so good. I even had thoughts at one point in time where I was like, this might be one of the best seller calls that a TU member's had on these lives before. There was just the moments there at the end where it just felt like you weren't ready for that yet. Maybe you haven't had enough of those reps, but that right there was really impressive. So I'll unmute you. I know we've had you muted this entire time, but go ahead.
No, I love the feedback. I think the anchor that Jerry was saying like unlocked the way Jason Strickland does for me sometimes. Like, yeah, I'm doing the math right. I'm getting him to the right place, and I'm just not giving myself enough buffer with my original number on the anchor. So that definitely resonated with me. I mean, obviously it's awesome to hear that it's one of the best calls on the live, or that I did it 2 in a row for you. So
yeah.
I mean, think about it this way. If you want to land at 95, anchor at 75, then he feels like he worked you up. And now he hangs up thinking, man, I worked that guy up, versus you got nowhere to go now. You got nowhere to go. There's no more negotiation, because you certainly can't go up off of that number. See what I mean? And even when he said 85, you had a moment there where when he said 85, what I would have said is Bill, that's if that offer was for real, that's a damn good offer. I don't know why you didn't take that 85. You asked him, well, why didn't you take that? Or if I could beat that, but I don't want to.
No, I said, are you wishing you had taken it?
Oh yeah, that's
sorry,
what it was.
Are you sorry you didn't take it? Something like that.
I did like that question.
I did too.
You said, do you regret not taking that? It was the follow-up to that.
Yeah.
Do you regret not taking that? He said something like, no. You should have said, you might once I tell you my number.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I would have said 85 is, Bill, 85 is probably a really good number. Here's why. If I buy it, or that guy buys it for 85, you dump this much into it, you try to sell it. No one's going to the boonies to not make money. Like 85, that's a legit offer, dude. Yeah. I don't even know if I could do 85. That's probably how I would have tried to reframe it. Because now what you're doing is you got to get him off his pie in the sky number. And like we've been saying, you earn the right to call him out and to be that voice of reason. He'll listen to you because you earned it.
Well, here's the last thing I'll say is, for anyone out there that is wanting to get started in the wholesaling or is currently in the process of that first year, Quinn is a perfect example of what it looks like you need to put in. This man has put in the work.
Yep.
I cannot wait to see you get results, Quinn. I absolutely can. I will tell you, brother, when you start crushing it, I will make a video crying my eyes out because I know how much work you put in on a daily basis. This call made me so damn proud just to see the improvement that you've put in. And I see you every day. You show up, you put in the work. You're working with Danny. You're working in the office hours. Man, just I say it all the time. Don't fall in love with the results. Fall in love with the process. That's what you've done. And you can see it on this right here. This is so close to being like, I mean, if you just a few little tweaks there, I would go out and be like, I'll put Quinn up against anybody because you can't compete against that. Our competition doesn't talk about this stuff. They talk about the script and the condition and the timeline and the occupancy. And you were talking about his problem. We're talking about woodchucks and the boondocks. And like we're talking his language and his issues. I love it, man. That was fantastic. Just you're almost there, Quinn. I know you want to be there, but you're almost there. So good job, brother.
Appreciate
All right.
it.
I'm gonna get you off here before you start crying. I tried to make you cry. All right, we'll get him off here. All right. We'll bring on the guy that has made me cry. Mr. Cameron, what's going on, Cameron?
How you doing? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. What?
Oh, great.
What is going on in the background? What you winning over there?
Bodybuilding, different years, past 5 years.
There you go. All right. Well, don't flex too much on me and Jerry. Okay?
Taking a break.
Right. We're rocking the Bevins and Bombich hoodie. So
I had to represent, you know?
Yeah. So for the people that don't know, Bevins and Bombich is this is his leader in charge over here, rocking the Titanium University YouTube channel. Miss Stephanie Bevan, Adam Bevan, Matt Bombich all joined TU in the 5th class. They partnered up and they fell in love with Cameron way back when. He's doing acquisitions. Cameron, when are you quitting the job? You just quit it in February, right?
Yeah, beginning of February.
There you go.
What's today? This is my second week.
How's it feel not going to do anymore?
Incredible. I get to call sellers every day and spend time with my dogs. It's phenomenal.
There you go.
Very grateful.
All right, brother. What do you have the spreadsheet?
Yes, I do.
You got which one did you pick?
I haven't picked one yet, so I'm gonna pick one right now.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Craig.
What number is that? 26?
26.
All right.
First of all, I also want to say hi to Jerry. What's going on,
How
man?
you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you, man. All right, let's get this guy on the phone. 318.
Jerry, you want to know why Cameron was late?
Why?
Because he was closing an ovation right before this.
I mean, we'll let him off the hook for that.
That's what closers do. They just close deals and show up late. And, let me close another one real quick.
We were talking about Alaska, and fishing
Oh,
in Alaska.
Fairbanks?
No. Her son is active duty in Alaska right now.
Oh, okay.
But let's call Craig. Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 318-316-0007 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Craig, this is Cameron. Give me a call back, 727-777-2858. Thanks.
Why did you pick that one? I'm gonna make a module inside of TU about how to cherry pick leads better.
Honestly, I just looked and picked one. I like Louisiana a little bit, so.
All right. Well, if you're just gonna pick one, pick 30.
Daniel, Arkansas.
We've got a 50% connection rate on first
That
dial.
good.
That's real good.
Hello,
Hey, is Daniel there?
this is Daniel.
Hey, Daniel, this is Cameron. I was giving you a call about a property entered on my website, 214 Pearl Street Northeast. You still selling that?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. How much you looking to get?
10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it needs a lot of work.
Tell me about it. Tell me what's going on.
Well, there's one spot of the roof that I had repaired, so it's probably going to need a new roof in reality.
Okay.
And there's no, the floors are all bare wood right now because people I bought it from, they stripped all the carpet and tile out of it and just left it empty. And the kitchen is not bad. All the cabinets are there. They just have to be assembled and put up on the walls.
Okay.
So the whole kitchen is there. There's just no appliances. And the bathroom needs redone. The front bedroom, living room, all that's in great shape. Just needs something on the floor. Carpet or tile, whatever somebody wants to do. You've got a front porch and a back. Well, the back porch needs to be rebuilt, but there is a back porch, or some people call it a mud room, to where the laundry facility's at. It's got a huge 30-foot long shed in the backyard. It's brand new. I don't know what's going on with the electrical. All they told me is it needed an inspection.
Okay. So the electric needs an inspection. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to do all this, but 17 surgeries kind of knocked me out of that game.
You said what surgery?
17 surgeries.
17 surgeries?
Yeah, most of them on my back and neck.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. That I can't imagine.
But yeah, that's why I quit working on the house myself. I was going to fix it up myself and resell it for more money. I don't have the strength anymore.
Rightfully so. I mean, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So I know you bought this back in 2023.
Yeah.
You know, what were you going to sell it for?
Oh, I didn't know. I was going to wait and see when I got done remodeling, because I was going to live in it for a while and remodel it at the same time and then sell it. So I really don't know what I was. I noticed that neighborhood, there's a lot of low-priced houses in that neighborhood. But if you look at the houses, it's because they went through tornadoes and stuff and got damaged and never fixed. And that's why the houses are selling so cheap in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I think if people started fixing these houses up, you'd bring the property values up, and that'd be a great neighborhood. It's a beautiful neighborhood. You got live deer running around, rabbits, everything. And you're only 2 blocks from the Washita River, which is nice.
Huh. Yeah, I like some fresh wildlife, you know, running around.
That's me. My wife and I are volunteer hosts with the Apalachicola National Forest. And we see it every day.
So
we actually live.
I know you said this needs a good bit of work. And, you know, the property values are pretty cheap out there. I know you're going through a lot, man, and I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I would, you know, as an investment, I'd like to make at least a little bit of money. And I know you probably put some money in yourself.
Yeah.
But beyond the purchase, I know you said you got the new shed in the back and everything like that. But, you know, what do you think for repair-wise it's going to cost me?
I think somebody could go in there with 15 to 20,000 and make it a nice place. I was at one point I thought about turning it into either a bed and breakfast or just a rental. You got a lot of traveling nurses in Camden, so a bed and breakfast, it'd be good if you could turn it into a bed and breakfast. Wouldn't have a problem keeping it full.
Yeah.
But that was my thought a long time ago. Then all this happened and everything's changed. My wife and I just want to find a piece of property and retire now.
So I do have a question for you, man. I want to kind of circle back to these surgeries because I can't get past that, to be honest. That's a lot to deal with. You know?
It is.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
You're not going to believe this. I slipped in a puddle of water.
You slipped in a puddle of water?
Yep. That's what started all these surgeries.
Wow.
I had degenerative disc disease, so my bones break super easy.
And yeah, that will do it.
Yeah.
Well,
they told me I'd never walk again. Well, I walked just fine, and I laughed at them and walked out of their office.
So
take more than that to keep me down.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're still walking.
My nickname is Moose.
That's strong will right there.
Yep. Yeah, my nickname is Moose for a reason.
Moose?
Yeah, I'm a little guy. My nickname is Moose.
I like that. You got some big antlers?
Yeah. I'm just a lot stronger than I should be for my size. Always have been.
I love the humor, man. I love that, you're going through a lot and you're still being positive about life in general.
I got the Lord on my side. I ain't going nowhere.
Amen.
Yep.
So I'd love to get something going with you, man, but I think 10 is just a little too high for what I can do. And
tell me what you can do. We'll work something out.
I'm going to need this pretty low, man, but I really want to understand, how much do you need that would make an impact to you? Because I know 10 is too much.
Yeah, I started high purposely. My bottom dollar, 5,000.
5,000?
Yeah.
Well, I'm at like 1,000. So could we meet in the middle?
Nah, I'm not going under 5.
So what happens if you don't sell this?
People offering me 5 for it, and I'm waiting.
What you waiting on?
A better offer.
I can tell you there's nothing better coming.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I've got quite a few calls and people working on it, so I don't know. I got to try.
What matters more right now? Cash in your pocket quick or the highest dollar possible and just let it sit and rot?
Well, actually, it has been sitting for 3 years, unfortunately, but I don't want to let it sit, but at the same token, I don't want to take less than I've got in it.
Well, I get that, but at the end of the day, if it's not going to sell for 5, and I know that for a fact because the numbers don't make sense. So, what happens when it doesn't sell? Because that's reality.
Okay.
Well, I'm just being honest. I'm shooting you straight because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine. But at the end of the day, I want to help you. That's what I do. But the numbers got to make sense. Hung up.
Ooh. I thought that was a good call. That we had a lot of insight in the chat. I don't know if you saw that, Jerry. Did you see that another TU member had that under contract for $3,500?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
So Noel Tyson had that under contract. Everybody in the TU Dispo portal turned it down at $3,500, Cameron. And all of the buyers would not give an offer even at $3,500. And Noel just had that under contract for $3,500. So it's funny that the seller was saying he wouldn't go below 5 because he was just at $3,500.
Well, I knew 5 just wasn't going to happen regardless. Like 3,500, I could swing at it, but I didn't know that it was already under contract.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping to land right around that 3,500. That's why I went for 1,000 and then kind of let's meet in the middle.
Yeah.
So I got a couple ideas around that, Cameron. So first of all, when he gave out the 10 number, at that point, you decided we're gonna leave price alone. I'm gonna focus on connection, which is great. So you went back to his surgeries. You've been back to talking about what's going on and things. I would stay away from how much does it need in work? What will it sell for? None of that matters because he's asking 10. There's only 9 other numbers that could there be, right? So who cares about anything else? You know, what I do when I'm dealing with a house that's under 10 and they throw out 10, what I would do is really quite quickly after that, I would say, is that the best you can do? If you would have just asked that, he would have brought it down to 5 because you got to there eventually. It just took a while to get there. And then I feel like your anchor was a huge disconnect. And you switched tones. You put on your aggressive hat and you started hammering him, which is why he hung up on you. You went a little too aggressive. You went from super friendly, nice guy, I care about your surgeries, to there's no way you're getting that. No way. This is so the way you want to do that anchor, I feel like, is it needs to be more of an idea. It needs to be really soft. It needs to be somebody else. So I say things like, if you were to talk to other investors, I think you'd be hard pressed to get $1,000. I mean, it really is just that. That way it's other offers or other investors. It's not you saying 1,000, and you want that to be an idea. So that way you've got, so it's not a concrete offer and you've got no room to go anywhere from there. Because if you come right out
emotion and response.
Yeah. Here's the problem. When you say the most I can pay is 1,000, and then you come up off of that, you lied and you lost integrity. So you want it to be sort of like, man, I'm feeling like I need to be somewhere around $1,000. I mean, I'd love to get cash. And that's the other thing I would say. I'd say, look, if you want to get done with this thing, stop having property taxes, stop dealing with any of these issues, stop getting phone calls like you're getting from me. I can give you $1,000, somewhere around that in 2 weeks, cash in your pocket, get done with this thing. How's that sound? But I think though you were really, like you said, like, how much do you need? That's a dangerous question. I think it needs to be the right context to ask that question. How much do you need to get out of this? And you came right out and you said 10's way too high. So I don't know. I think I think you're really good, Cameron. I think they're at that end though. You might have got them down around that, and this is without any context. So you didn't know any of this about what RJ said with the 3,500. So I would have been trying to land at 3,500, anchored at 1,000 like you did. But I think I would have tried to get him there a little softer than the way you did, because he just hung up on you because I think you were too aggressive with it.
Yeah, Cameron, I'm curious. How often do you kind of go aggressive like that?
Pretty much never, unless I think it's not a deal.
I was a little bit, because every interaction that I've ever had with you, you're always like one of the nicest human beings ever. And during the call, you were just so like caring, like, holy cow, 17 surgeries. What happened?
I like nature.
Right. But then you went, I will say, I didn't quite understand the thought process of going back to the surgeries the second time.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we're talking about a $300,000 house that we know we need to get it for $150, right? We're talking about a $10,000 shit box. And so he's already admitted that. He's already like, I know it needs a ton of work. It ain't worth a whole lot. So when you went back, you're like, I just got to know what happened. And he's like, I slipped on a puddle. I got degenerative disc disorder and all this stuff. And then it was that shift. It just came across a little bit, not that you are, but like two personalities, like bipolar a little bit, where it was just like, I need this at $1,000 and I'm shooting you straight. That sounded kind of like something that me and Jerry would say. Just me and Jerry would have not have been nearly as nice before that. We probably would have had the conversation about, right. I mean, I'm just saying it how it is. I mean, we would have been like, holy cow, 17 surgeries. That's crazy. What happened? Something maybe like that. You were like, oh my goodness, what happened? Like, you being empathetic. I think that's something that naturally you probably lean towards, but you need to use it when it's appropriate. And on this, I just didn't think it was appropriate. And then you didn't really use it. So be careful when you try to find something out about their motivation and their problem, because I don't even know if it was really his motivation. I think he just wants to sell this and get as much money as he can possibly get. And so I would have leaned more on your creativity of real estate. Like, I would have leaned what shirt are you wearing? Bevins and Bombage, right? I would have leaned on this. Let me tell you who I am, okay? I'm Cameron. I work for this company called Bevins and Bombage. And actually, what we focus on is finding highly discounted properties that are in really bad condition, just like this property, and then locating an investor that comes in and does the work. What if, because we do this all the time, what if we just signed a contract for $1 right now, $1, and I go find a buyer for maybe $5,000, maybe it's $10,000, and we split those proceeds at the end? Would that work for you? That's you leaning on your creativity and also what your company brings to the table. Because then you're going to say, I'm going to get this in front of every investor, not 5 investors. I'm going to get this in front of every investor that buys in Camden, Arkansas. So I'm going to figure out what this property would be sold for. And then at that point in time, we would just split the proceeds. Does that work for you? That would be something that I would have tried to have leaned on there, is that you are a dispo house by nature. But also just leveraging who you are in a better way. I think you kind of defaulted to the empathy, and it wasn't that, like, that's a seller matrix thing, right? Going back to the seller matrix, where it's like, who am I talking to? Is this a logical or is this an emotional conversation? I think you tried to make it emotional. That wasn't an emotional seller. That was a happy-go-lucky guy. He's like, 17 surgeries, but I'm still here. I'm kicking. I got the Lord on my side. Like, bro, he ain't sad about it. He's laughing and joking with you. So I would have liked to have seen you match that energy, be optimistic, more energetic, and kind of solution-oriented than kind of the path that you took it there, because it felt like you were talking to a very disgruntled, tired landlord suddenly. Where it's like, listen, bro, I'm shooting you straight. It's $1,000. Take it or leave it. And I didn't think he was that guy. So overall, though, I will say before you got to that, 90% of your calls, what you did, that's going to work really well, because you're not normally focused on $1,000 offers.
And
yeah,
I like that, Cameron, you didn't lock it up at 5 and take his 5, and then you would have just been wasting time. I mean, I see that so often where, oh, you wanted 10, you're at 5. Okay, maybe I can dispo this for 10. And you were like, no, if I'm going to do a deal, I better get it for $1,000. Otherwise, I'm not wasting my time. So I'd like that. I'd rather see him hang up and you not do a crap deal that you're just going to back out of later because you can't move it, than to just agree to a number and take a deal and then find out you can't sell it.
Yeah, I will say that. I mean, based off of what I just saw, I could assume your contract to close ratio is really high.
It is,
right?
Yeah.
You're getting deals.
He's not signing unless it's a deal.
Right.
And I gather that when you came in at 1,000 aggressive, it was like, oh, this guy's going for he goes for deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
I was really curious, like, how he would respond to me being aggressive, because I kind of wanted to just get down to the point. And I really couldn't find anything on PropStream or pretty much anywhere. So once I could barely find anything other than Zillow. And I was like, all right, well, if I'm aggressive right now, which creatively I should have, right? I like that. I'm going to use that for sure. It was more so in that aspect of, okay, I don't want to waste my time. I want to help him at the same time. If I shoot at 1,000 and he tells me $3,000, $4,000, now we can kind of wiggle if he was to respond. It's either hang up or respond.
But there's a couple of things that you could have done there, Cameron. And this again comes back to trial and error and reps, right? You've had a W-2 all the way up until 30 weeks ago. And so you've got what, a year under your belt of really doing this, but part-time. So this comes from experience over the course of time where you'll try things out. That was you trying out the aggressive route and it didn't work, right? Going back to what Jerry said, where probably everybody inside of Titanium kind of butt puckered for a second when he was like, blame it on a third party. They're like, oh my God, is Jerry about to say the fake underwriter? No, we still don't do that. But you can blame it on, hey, are you familiar with this property on Harrison that sold for $540? Like, what, you know anything about that one? Because, I mean, that looks pretty similar to yours, and it sold on the MLS for $540. That's wild. I've never even seen that. Also, when you asked them for the price and it came down to $5, your response could have been, I was hoping that it was going to be the number that I actually wanted, and it's not $5. Because then he would say, well, what number did you actually want it to be at? I needed it to be 1,000. And then he would say, oh, well, there's no way I could do that. Why not? Let's have a conversation about that. What's so important about that extra $4,000? How many conversations do you have to have before $4,000 is not worth it? What happens if this house that's been vacant for 3 years gets vandalized, burned down? Like, there's so many things that could go wrong where you lose anything. It's hard because you don't have a lot of leverage there. $1,000 is just not a lot of money at the end of the day for a piece of real estate, right? You're paying more in closing costs than you are for the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just,
Cameron, what if you would have said it like this? What if you would have said, hey, Mr. Seller, what would you think if I got you $1,000 and we can close in 10 days? What would you think about that?
Yeah.
Would you be willing to put something together for $1,000? And then he says, well, no, I mean, I gotta at least get 5. Then you say, well, I mean, how close to that can you get to the $1,000? I mean, can you work with me here? And so you're keeping that same personality you let out with, which is nice. I'm friendly. I'm instead of like, you're not going to get 10. There's no way it's worth it. This thing's a dump, coming at him like that.
hold on. You're good. I just hit the wrong button.
More of like, because I think you said you anchored at 1,000. You were hoping to land in between 1,000 and 5, 2,500, $3,000 or something is where I think you said you were hoping to get to. But could you have gotten him to get there if you kept that door open instead of the aggressive approach by saying, well, hey, how close can you get there? I think you were starting to, you said, hey, can we meet in the middle or something? I think you started to say something and it was kind of too late. Yeah. But think about a process of, hey, if we could put something together today, what would you think about $1,000? Now it's sort of like you're throwing it out there. He says, man, I really need to get 5. All right. Well, could you meet me somewhere in the middle? I mean, could we make it 2,500? Maybe he would have done it. See the slight difference
100%.
though.
100%. It was one of those things that I was just like, let me try it, because he seemed like a very straightforward guy out the gates, very happy-go-lucky. So I was like, let me just be real with him, and just be like, it's not worth 5. It's not going to move for 5. Like he said, he had other offers for 5, and that's why I was like, no shot.
Which I think we all agree that was not true. I think he was lying, especially just because we had all of the
insight.
Yeah, we had all the insight going on in the chat. Listen, Cameron, this is one of those things. You obviously understand the closer's formula. I thought your tonality was really strong throughout the call. Obviously, you had the skills to close deals. This is just one of those things where you take this result, you file it away, and you say, okay, I maybe misused that tool on that call.
100%.
Why? Right? You go back and watch this video tomorrow or later this week and just be like, so now watching it on the game film, I see what RJ and Jerry were saying here. Like, I shifted. I became a different person. I shouldn't have done that. I got to watch that next time. If I'm going to be aggressive, let's be aggressive throughout the call. Or mirror when a seller becomes aggressive, I'm also going to become aggressive. That's one of the things Jerry does really well. When all of a sudden a seller becomes like, somebody else, it's like, I'll match you. I'll come along for the ride, right? That just didn't happen here. And so better for it to happen on $1,000 offer than on something that we could make $25,000 on, right? I mean, at the end of the day,
I probably wouldn't have tried that.
Right.
And
leads you try shit out on.
You could probably call him back and get him back on the phone and pitch a creative RJ's creative idea. He might be open to that.
That's true.
But if no one could just do it for 3,500, man, that sounds like a lot of work to make a couple grand. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Cameron, let's do this. I want to get Braden on here. Once Braden's done with his call, I'm going to bring all of you guys up and let you just go to town on the rest of these leads and see what kind of craziness we can bring on. So if you want to hold off on that, let's hold off on calling them. Give them some time to cool down. We'll see. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
Good job, brother. Mr. Myers, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? How are you?
All right. So, Jerry, man, you don't even know what you're in store for here. This guy, he's an end buyer.
I'm going to buy this house in about 10 minutes.
He's calling to buy it. So I love it. Braden's been with us for a while. What'd you join? Like the 4th class?
Fat 5.
Fat 5. Oh, you're also part of the Fat 5. Fat 5 might be the greatest class ever in TU history. I'm just throwing that out there. So
100%.
All right. Is this in Missouri? Which one? What number did you pick?
This is in Missouri. Yes. Let's see what number. I already X out of the link that you sent me here.
You're so certain that they're going to answer? You got rid of the lead sheet and everything?
I sent in the private chat the lead here. Let's see. This is number. You see, because I own We Buy Houses Columbia and Mexico, Missouri, and not far.
Oh, 38. All right.
38.
Let's do it. Rock it.
I'm going to call them from the We Buy Houses Columbia number, so they'll pick up.
I love it.
All right, let's check it out.
Did you say you buy in Mexico, Missouri?
I do not, but it's foreclosure lead. So if we can pick it up sub 2, it might be a decent deal. But we're going to see what's going on. I buy in Columbia, and then Jefferson City, Mexico, Moberly, all wholesale. I don't want to own anything there. Really.
But you wholesale in Mexico.
I've never wholesaled a deal in Mexico, but it's not too far.
I'm asking. I have a couple seller leads there, and I don't know what to do with them because they're Mexico, Missouri.
I got you. Send them over. I'll call them up.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's
nationwide wholesalers, Jerry.
I mean, one's commercial, another one's a sub 2. They're kind of weird deals.
I'll text you my phone number after the live.
All right, let's see if we can get him on the phone here. Voicemail. Can you all hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Double dial.
You are crispy loud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Does this mean you got to get out of your home state?
Hey, you pick the lead, RJ.
All right.
Pick the lead.
All right. I'm gonna make you come to Texas.
Hey, we'll do it, man.
All right. You like foreclosure, right?
Any of them will be good.
22 titanium, 22, baby.
Let's do it, brother. I've been seeing 22 and 222 all over the place, man. Okay, got it here. Let's see if
so it's a foreclosure, needs a remodel in Illinois.
Okay, yeah, that's not too far. The viewers who are watching, you got to double dial. 3 rings, hang up, call again.
Oh.
Please leave your message for Crystal Mustard.
Hey, Crystal, this is Braden with We Buy Houses Columbia. Just reaching out about your property off Highway 45 in Illinois. Give me a call back. I'd love to chat with you. You can shoot me a text if that's easier. I'll be around. All right, thanks. Bye.
Call the one right above it.
Okay.
Yes, it's in North Dakota.
21.
But there's even a note where he says he's a flooring contractor. Work has significantly slowed down, and he's in foreclosure.
Okay. See what we can make happen.
North Dakota.
Jerry, get mad at your Wi-Fi again so we can see you move. There you go.
When I click off the screen, it does that.
Hello? Try to ring him again real quick.
So weird. It's just like stopping.
Yeah, it's just stopping.
All right.
Didn't even give me a option to leave a voicemail.
Number 20. We're just working our way up.
Let's do it.
Hello?
Hey, is this James?
Yes, this is James.
Hey, James. This is Braden. I'm just giving you a call about the property off Jackson Village in Georgetown.
Okay.
Are you looking to sell that property?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how much you looking to get for it?
I was looking to get anywhere about 50 to 60.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about what you got going on, my friend.
What exactly do you need to know?
Well, all I know right now is what I can see just on like the websites. I don't have anything about the property specifically.
You say you can see what's on the website?
Yeah, like on Realtor and Zillow.
Okay. The property is like what, 2,300 square feet. 4-bedroom. It needs repair. Floor joists in the property. I think all the floor joists in the property need to be renovated. Property hasn't been lived in. I purchased it originally to move there, and I was going to fix it myself and live there. Circumstances caused that not to be able to happen. So looking to liquidate it because it is too far from me, from where I currently live, to go and manage or deal with it on a regular basis. Property has a metal roof. Roof has a few pinholes in it. There is one bad pinhole near the back that has caused water to intrude. But there are other pinholes. I don't know if they just stopped. They don't leak any longer, but they're still there. So the roof probably needs to be patched or changed. The structure of the property is concrete. It's concrete block property. So luckily for me, that has caused it not to decompose or rot or anything because of any water infiltration. There is no mold or anything going on because the inside of the property is whoever originally set it up. They didn't set it up with sheetrock. They set it up with like these wooden panels. So so it's it's still holding good. Now the property does need renovation. It's probably gonna need a full gut, but that's the longest.
Okay. Yeah, that all sounds good. And you said you're not nearby anymore. You bought it and was gonna make it your house and decided against it.
Yeah. Well, I live 3.5 hours away.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, I can see that it was listed the end of 24 for 60. Did you guys not have any action on it when you?
Well, no. So what happens is I went through a company, I think it's called Sloan Realty. They promised me that, what we're going to do is we have a network of investors, and what we'll do is we'll put it to our network of investors. And we can start it off at 60, and what's going to happen is they'll bid on it. And it'll start at 60, but it'll go up, and then you'll get blah 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 blah. So they sold me a bill of goods.
Yeah. Did they say something like they're going to give you like the white glove full service treatment or something?
Yeah. Listen, they promised me the moon and told me they put the stars on layaway.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening, it didn't happen as such, and I was locked in with them, and I regret that because I had other people that came in, but I couldn't do anything because I was technically locked in with them. So I'm expecting for them to be able to sell it, and they never were able to sell it. Matter of fact, they recently called me again and asked me if they could, and I'm like, I'm not really dealing with them.
Okay.
I guess they're the group in that area that deals with houses or investors, but it didn't go well for me and them, so I don't really want to deal with them again.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't do it. We don't do novations at my company. One of two, I'm the owner of a company called Next Level Acquisitions, a Kansas-based corporation, and own We Buy Houses Columbia in Columbia, Missouri. And one of two things happens when we're out of those two areas. Either I'm going to buy it myself, or we're going to send it to our buyers. We got the best nationwide dispo companies around, but it does not go on the market. And I'm not going to sell you a bill of goods. If I send you an agreement at the end of this call, it's going to get done. So when's the last time that you've been to the property, brother?
It's been, I'd say a few months back. I had to go there. I went there to take care of some stuff, to check on the grass, make sure it was cut. I have a neighbor who I know he's eyeing the property, but he doesn't want to pay for it. So that's another situation there. But I went there to check and see if the grass is cut and everything else.
Okay. What's the neighbor trying to pay for it?
The neighbor's not trying to pay for it. He's it used to be his brother's property. And his brother borrowed like $200 and something thousand on the property, and then what ended up happening is he died, and was not able to complete the payments or whatever. And instead of anybody in the family stepping up and just taking over and taking payments or anything, they didn't do it, so they lost the property. And then some roundabout events, I ended up getting the property for what looks like $20,000, but there was a person that owed me money. And they had the property, and they said, "Hey, listen, let's do this. I can transfer the property into your name, and so on and so forth." And so we did it, and then we put the $20,000 for tax purposes and all that stuff. And I got the property, and once again, I thought I was going to move to the property, live at the property. The property is like 15 minutes, about 20 minutes away from the beach. About 15 or so minutes away from town, from the heart of Georgetown and stuff like that, from the pier and the nightlife and everything else. So I said, I can do that. I can relocate and do that. But ended up happening is I had a property in Union, South Carolina that I lived at, and I was not able to sell the property. I was not able to sell the property in Union. And then I took a job, and then one thing led to another. Family member got sick, so I scrapped the idea. When I got the property needed renovations, and I haven't done any of the renovations, but I had already made up my mind that I was going to do the renovation. It's just that it's a little difficult when 3.5 hours to go one way, so it's a 7-hour round trip before you even get anything started.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Well, from what I can see online, right, I did see what you're, corroborating as far as the price, somewhere around $20K in 2022. And what happens in the real estate world, not everybody's just upfront and honest about how these transactions actually go down. And that's why you got sold a bill of goods and somebody wasn't able to complete the transaction because they had it inked too high, right? They had agreed to pay you too much money, right? And so they were unable to generate enough interest in the property, which therefore led to it not going under contract and completing the deal. So, but with that said, I would probably have to be somewhere around what you paid for it to make sense.
Yeah, that wouldn't work for me. Yeah, if you made a better offer, then possibly, but no.
Okay, how much money did that guy owe you when he gave you this property instead?
They actually owed me something to the tune of 40. But for me, I thought I was, you're getting the property, you're getting a property that you can live at. Yeah, you may have to put a little money into it to fix it, but so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Are you open to taking payments on the house at all? Like if you just don't want to deal with it?
What kind of payment? I really want to liquidate the property because once again, I still have to pay taxes on the property. As a matter of fact, right now, I owe taxes on the property that I have to deal with. So once again,
okay,
it's something that I'm not getting any current benefit out of, but at the same token, I own it clear and free.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, like you want to make some money on the deal. You've owned it. You've been taking care of it, driving 7 hours round trip to get to it and do it. If we went like the cash route, this is kind of what would happen, right? I'd send you a purchase and sale agreement for the property. Once I have that signed, within 24 to 48 hours, we get somebody out there to put eyes on the property, right? So you wouldn't need to make a trip down there if we've got a way to get inside or something like that.
I don't know about the way to get the way to get inside. I wouldn't be able to unless I came out there. I don't know if you would be able to get inside.
Okay. Well, with that said, then we would have to schedule to meet you out there sometime. If we came up to like 25, made it worth your while some way. This is 14 days from now, you're going to have 25 grand in your bank account. We'll pay we may even be able to pay the tax. How many years behind on the taxes are you? Or what do you owe on taxes?
I think, well, it's a weird situation they have like it's a water tax or something.
Okay.
So, if you default on the water tax or something, it becomes due, like all due. So it's like about $4,000 with not tax. That's why I said, if I'm paying the taxes and everything, it doesn't make sense for me to, I end up losing in the long run.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. As time goes on, every single day that goes by costs you a few bones. Is this something that you're even like wanting to get? I mean, obviously you listed it with those other guys a couple years ago.
Right.
Like, are you still kind of up in the air, like willing to hold out, or is this something that you want to get done?
No, I'd like to get it done. I'd like to get it sold, and then I'd like to move on.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So could the 25 get it done for you? That's probably where we're going to top out at. Really.
All right. Well, if you're doing the 25 and you'll hold the taxes, then that's possible. But if 25 and then I'm still responsible for the taxes, that puts me right back in the same bracket.
Okay. So most times we pay all the time we pay the closing costs, and there's never any realtor commissions or anything like that. Usually on the Alta, when you close the deal, the seller pays the proration of taxes. If you want to just give me like 30 seconds real quick, I can see. So basically you owe how much?
I don't have the documentation in front of me. I'm just I'm spitballing it, and I think it's anywhere 4,000 or below.
Okay. So at 29,000 we can get this rolling. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess right. Yeah. That covers me for taxes, and I still walk away with 25, and then life goes on. You know, you live and you learn.
Okay. All right. Well, you see, I don't like to say things. I can only tell you what I can do and not what I can't do. At the 29,000, I think it probably works. Like I said, we'll have to figure out a day for us to come out there to check out the property.
Right. Listen, and because of if you guys need to go out there, and as long as, like, I think I have like a lock with a hasp on it right now. You can cut the lock. Go. I'll give you authority to do that as long as you you replace the lock on the hasp, and then you can just mail me the key, because once again, I would have to take a day off of work, and then I would have to drive out there. It's just a bit much.
Okay. Yeah, no, I totally get it. Well, I'm gonna type up this agreement for us real quick and send it over. And we'll get to work on it. We'll send you the key. It won't be no big deal. We'll try to get it wrapped up, and with it being outside of town, it might be 3 weeks. Just to be safe, we'll call it 3 weeks, but we'll try to get it done.
Let's back up. 3 weeks to what?
No, like 3 weeks is like the top end. We're gonna try to get it done faster than that for you. Within
right, but you're saying 3 weeks. Give me. I don't know what the 3 weeks. What happens in 3 weeks? What are you saying happens in 3 weeks?
So
3 weeks before you go and see it?
No. So by the end of the week, we'll have somebody out there and got eyes on the property.
Okay.
And within 3 weeks, we'll have 25 grand in your pocket.
Okay, I see.
Yes, sir.
So you're saying within 3 weeks it'll be closed on.
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll have 25 grand in your pocket. We'll take care of the taxes. We'll take care of the closing costs. We will need reasonable access to the property. So if we can cut the lock, like you said, that won't be no issue. Send you the key, that kind of thing. And you won't even need to make the round trip on closing date, because we can just send you a mobile notary.
Electronically, yeah.
Yeah, mobile notary or a.
Sign, yeah.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, I got you.
So let me just. What's your full name, brother?
James.
Gonna mute this. Braden, are we good? Can we talk?
For the property, so the property will come up.
Okay.
And once again, if need be, I can, the property's owned by the company that I created in the name of the LLC. So, if need be, I transfer the company to you, or I tell them. Either way, whichever works out best for you guys.
I gotcha. So I'm just gonna send you the purchase and sale agreement with your.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you the purchase and sale agreement with your personal name, title. They'll figure out which way we need to handle that. It's never an issue. Once I have this signed back from you, I'll go ahead and shoot it over to the title company. We'll get it rolling. Once we got a title commitment, we should be good to go from there.
Okay.
But just give me like 1 second, okay?
Okay.
What up?
I was gonna say, can the seller hear us? Because I was gonna have me and Jerry just go ahead and talk about this while you're sending the contract.
Yeah, you guys talk. I'll mute you.
All right. So Jerry, what did you think there?
I mean, I think he's got a deal. He signed it. He's getting a contract signed. That's great. I think I would have handled the negotiation process a little bit differently. I think there's some cleaning up he can do in his process. There was several times where the seller's like, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?"
Right.
I think he's so comfortable with the vernacular and what we do that he forgets that you're talking to a seller that doesn't understand the nuances of what you're saying. I mean, right out of the gate, he said, "So tell me what's going on." He's like, "Well, what do you mean what's going on?" I think you can clean that up and you can say, "Hey, while I'm pulling up this property, tell me a little bit about what you've got going on. Why are you wanting to sell right now to an investor?" You got to clean this stuff up. I call this kindergarten this. You say things like open escrow and not everybody understands that language. So I noticed a few different times where the seller just wasn't following what he was saying. Again, at the end with the inspection.
You know what that is? I can tell you what it is. Braden loves to go belly to belly because he is an end buyer. And so he likes to sit down at the kitchen table and walk them through. He's got the contract. And be like, sign right here. I'm going to open escrow. What does that mean? Well, that means I'm going to send it off to the title company. And this is the difference between that being on the phone and that belly to belly aspect of things. Because I noticed the exact same thing, especially on that part where he was like, what is happening in 3 weeks?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when you're doing a contract over the phone, you got to be really clear. You got to say, listen, nothing happens until we have our agreement in place. I can't send someone out there. I can't open escrow. Nothing happens. I'm going to email you this to you in a minute. Until I get that back from you, nothing's going on. You got to be really explain that, because he may sit on that thing and think the deal's happening or whatever. Because, and then I would explain inspection. I'd say, listen, right now I'm basing all of this off of what you're telling me. I'm looking at the, numbers off the computer. Until I get eyes on it, I don't know actually if I can move forward with the 29. I like that number. It feels good. Until we get eyes on it, though, I won't know for sure. I can't get eyes on it until we have an agreement in place. So I'm going to have this little thing in the agreement called a contingency or an inspection period. And that's going to give me a window of time to get eyes on it. You got to explain that a little better.
Yeah, there was a couple of conflicts that you could tell Braden was having. One, there's certain language that he uses because he's inside of a property. So he normally likes to say, like, I'm the buyer. Like, I've seen it. When I tell you 25K, it's good as gold, right?
Yep.
And so he kind of defaulted to that, but then had to revert back. But then he was also trying to overcome the novation of the previous investor. So he's like, well, I'm not going to do what that guy did. But I do need to see the property. And so you could kind of tell that he got thrown out of his normal routine of what he was doing. And so he was kind of like combating himself throughout the negotiations of like,
yeah, he's got to clean that up, because we do the same thing. We close on appointment and we close on the phone, and they're two different ways and styles. And, so you got to get really clear. Like, I got to talk a little bit differently when I'm closing on the phone versus closing in person. I think too, a big thing I caught was in his negotiation process, he said, I'd like to buy where you bought it. So that we know that number's 20. He said, I can't do that. And there's a huge missed opportunity there. And I see this happen all the time well, then what number can you pay? Or, well, then how close to that can you get? He didn't say, okay, now you counter me. He just said, well, what if I paid 25? So he countered against himself, because what if he would have come down and said, I really need 25? I would have said, why don't we split the difference and we do 22.5? And I probably could have got a couple more grand out of the deal by not negotiating against myself.
And also right after that moment, you kind of said that, and then you wrote in the chat, how close to that can you get? But then he kept saying right after that, the seller was saying, I just want to get my money. I want to be done with this. And it was like, then my thought process was to ask, then why did you just reject my offer?
You're right. Yeah.
I just said I would give you what you paid for it, but then you said no. And then the true reason came out.
I think he would have. I think Braden gave up too soon. I think that guy, if he would have held out, I think he would have given you everything you wanted. There was so much urgency and motivation. The guy was so tired. I mean, all he kept saying was how much I hate this property. I got taxes owed. It's like, dude, well, you don't have all of those problems and make a profit. You dump it and you move on. And that's what I'm offering you. So I wouldn't have moved off of the 20. And I think he could have got it at the 20.
Yeah. I think the number was 24.
Yeah.
It was the 20 that he paid for, and then the 4 and the taxes. So that's why he said no. And then it was, well, why not? What
think about it. He offered 20. He said no. Cameron countered himself at 25. Then he countered at 29, and he won.
Right.
That's not, you got to think about the steps here. That guy negotiated better in the deal. Right. It would have landed at 24. It should have said, okay, well, how close to that can you get? And then he countered at 25, and you were going off of now an in-between number, not now the new counter.
Right. Yeah. Hold on, let me see what's going on with Braden here real quick. Braden, can you hear us?
He's writing the contract.
Yeah. So this is one of those things where that's picture perfect from the seller of what we want to do on the closer's formula.
Yeah.
Right.
The seller closer formulaed him.
What's your price? 20. No.
Yeah.
And then, well, how about 25? How about 29? Closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
People go, when are we supposed to make an offer? Well, you don't. You just get the seller to stair step down.
Yeah.
That's what happened here. It was that one little moment, but this is why we do this, right?
Yeah. This is the 1% stuff. I mean, he's got a deal.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, here's what people have to understand. Every $1,000 matters in negotiation, because if you do this full time for a living and you're doing 5-10 deals a month, if you learn how to negotiate better and you get $5 grand out of every deal you do, you're putting 25 grand a month in your pocket more just because you've improved that 1% or 10%.
So I think at the end of the day, he cost himself $5 grand. I think you agree. 24 was probably the number. That $5 grand, he's going to have to JV this. So that's $2,500 in his pocket, right? That was a $2,500 question. That's how. Wait, it's $2,500 for the JV partner too, right? And potentially even a renegotiation is going to have to be needed later on. Let me see if
even the taxes. I would have negotiated that. I'd have said, why don't we split it?
Right.
I mean, there was another lost opportunity to negotiate when he asked to pay the taxes.
Especially
if I was that seller, I would have been thinking, here's what I felt. This guy wants it. I got him. He's going to come to my number. Because Braden, he countered himself. Then he said, okay, I'll pay the taxes. You didn't ask for anything back.
One of the things that I noticed today was we went through 5 callers. Connection rate was great. Shout out to Property Leads. Great job today with the leads.
Great leads.
2 hours and 20 minutes. Everybody got 5 callers, got a seller on the line. Everybody went through these calls really, really quickly. One of the things that I've noticed, Jerry, when you and I do this, every now and then me and you will have a 5, 6, 7 minute call. But on some of these, we would have taken 20, 25 minutes. like to really, I clipped one of your calls. I think from the last time me and you went live, I clipped it and I said this was a great close by Jerry. There was a moment where it was like, oh, it's done. And then there was 10 more minutes of you pulling out motivation from the seller. And then that's where it came out about she needed to sell the house because it was the way to get her daughter back. You remember that call?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, she had already told you all of this motivation, but then the true motivation came out at the end because you just kept pulling. And then that's when you really let her know, like, if you really want to do this, this is the number you've got to get. You've got to get to this number right now. I thought some of these calls just got sped up a little bit. But also, this is live on YouTube. Me and you, I mean, it's pressure. Braden, are you with us?
Each party is shown.
Guys reading the contract. That's what that is.
Yeah.
So, I think overall, though, great calls by everybody.
Yeah.
We still got a ton of leads. So, Jerry, what I was thinking is we just bring them all up on stage, tell everybody to mute themselves, and when they get a seller on the phone, unmute. We just let them go to town. What do you think?
Yeah.
Rapid fire, medley style.
Yeah.
All right.
How are you going to know if a lead's been called? They'll have to mark it or something?
Yeah, they can all mark it.
Yeah. Make sure you guys mark it.
Let's go here. Quinn, Ken, Cam, Steven. Oh, yeah, look at this. All right, boys. We ready? When you get somebody on, unmute yourself. And if we have two, then I'll toggle the mutes. I'll pay attention to who's good and who's not. Okay? So y'all just go to town. While Braden's over there getting
Braden's over there closing his sky still.
I know. Oh, now Stephanie wants in. Stephanie says, "Put me in." We got to change the background. So, somebody asked about how did I know the connection rate? The connection rate is how many leads did we call? How many sellers answered? That's all that is. So we called 4, 8, 10. We called 14 leads, and we talked to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 50% connection rate.
RJ, while we're waiting here, I just want to shout out to you and Titanium.
My name's Quinn Zepedas, giving a call about your property there on North Oak Street.
Okay, Street.
Oh, OK Street. Oh, yeah. My mistake. You still looking to sell that?
I am.
Awesome. How much you looking to get for it?
I'm looking for like 110.
110. Can you tell me a little bit about what you got going on?
Well, I'm relocating, and that's why I need to sell my house.
Where are you going to?
Huh?
So where are you going?
Just on the other end of West Memphis. I'm staying in West Memphis, but I'm going to the other side of West Memphis.
I got you. You already found. Oh, sorry.
I don't want to have two houses.
Have you figured out where you're moving after this?
No, I was trying to sell my house first.
So once you get it sold, you're gonna rent temporarily, or what's your plan?
No. Once I get it sold, I'm going to stay with my sister until I purchase my home.
Okay. And then, do you have any idea of how fast you'd like to move? Like, is your sister ready for you? Does she need some time before?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're ready and she's ready?
Yeah.
I got you. And so I understand why you're selling. How'd you come up with your price?
On the prices that they offer around my area, I compare prices.
And so is your house looking like the ones you compared it to? Is it pretty well fixed up, or am I going to need to do some work?
There's nothing wrong with my house, but the inside needs paint. That's it.
Let's see. So every kitchen, bathroom have been remodeled recently. No work, no money I would need to spend at all.
No.
I got you. What's got you looking to sell to an investor versus listing it if it's in pretty much perfect condition?
Well, I was going to do that also. I was just trying to see what was going to be my best way to go about doing it. But I've been looking into both of them.
What would you say the most important thing is to you? Is it getting top dollar or is it something else?
Getting it sold at a reasonable price.
Does time frame matter to you? Like, I can help you move fast and I can help make it convenient, but if those aren't important, then a real estate agent's probably your best bet. And if those are important, then I might be a good solution for you.
Well, then how much would you offer me for my house?
Well, let's see. I've never seen it, but I'll go off of what you're telling me that it doesn't need too much in repairs. I'm seeing not a lot of other houses that have sold for over 100,000, even the fixed up ones. Let me see. Let me put this on a calculator. So if we can get by on 5,000 or less in repairs, if we can get by on 5,000 or less in repairs, I'd probably need to be around 40,000. Like, we're quite a bit different numbers.
Oh, no, I'm going to list it.
I mean, I'll say this. Unless it's just way nicer than what I'm picturing. Like, have you sold a house recently? You know, like, how fees are going to work and all that kind of.
I already have a realtor, and we already discussed it. I just wanted to get a quote off of one of these houses quick to see how much they are off. But I'm ready to list my house tomorrow.
But what is the realtor telling you it's going to sell for? I might be able to adjust my calculations a little bit.
110, 100. They selling for like 130, 135 in the area that I'm in.
So she told you to list it. The number you guys have agreed to is 110 for tomorrow. Yeah. So I mean, asking me to pay that number, like, I'm usually paying closing costs and saving you real estate commission. So you're actually kind of asking me more than what I would be paying if I just waited for you to list it and then bought it that way.
Right. Well, I'm going to list it.
So you walk away with just under 100,000 if everything goes right, and that's kind of what you're hoping for.
Well, I'm hoping to get the whole 110.
I'm just saying, even if you do, even if there's no concessions, you're still going to pay your agent, the buyer's agent, closing costs. Like,
all right, that one's not going anywhere.
No.
Braden, did you get it signed?
Yes, sir.
You're muted, Braden.
No, I just unmuted you. Sorry.
Yeah, I got it signed.
Nice.
Attaboy.
Boom. Let's go. Oh, good, bro. You know what I got on my desk at all times open?
What?
Oh, my camera follows me. Hold up. My Bible.
There you go.
Boy.
Praise God.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your plan now?
Well,
you don't do deals in South Carolina, so how you gonna dispo that?
hey, that deal looks like it could be a flip. I don't flip though. The
Yes, ma'am.
Titanium University dispo portal is going to sell that deal.
It's a 3-bedroom and
Yeah.
it's got
Oh, let's listen to Steven.
like vinyl wood flooring or whatever. Like it's new flooring, and it's got it's like maybe it's got ceiling fans in every room. It's got a new central air. The attic or whatever is all redone. Everything's done up inside of there, and wood cabinet.
Now,
Backyard, it's got a shed back there, and it's a pretty big backyard. It's all gated in and closed in, and it's across the street from a soccer field for the kids. And yeah, that's about it. They don't have no driveway or no sidewalk or nothing like that.
all right.
You know.
All right. Yeah. And what timeline were you hoping to sell it on?
Well, first I would just be curious to know, because if I did it, I'd want to do it quickly, you know?
Okay. Okay. What's the urgent?
I also like to have something else set up in exchange, so that way part of the money would automatically go to what I have set up because I don't want to not do that first, I live with this one.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, if I did, I'm in Texas, but I'd like to go back to California and buy a small piece of land there and get like an RV or something to put on there. That way I could travel.
All right. You'd like to go to California, buy an RV, and travel.
Well, I want to buy a small piece of land out there in the high desert.
In the that sounds wonderful, Kim. Gosh, I want your life. Look at that. Cool.
Right.
So, okay.
And I have a nice truck, so what I would like to hitch up something in the back, so that if I felt like taking off, I could.
Okay. Absolute mobility and California bounds.
Right. High desert with a small piece of land, maybe like a little acre or something somewhere out there.
A little acre or something, and you'll be a free woman. Look at that.
Right. Well, I'm already free, but yeah.
That's good. That's good. Free and mobile. That's a dangerous combination.
Yeah.
Very good. And you'd like to do this soon. What's what has you wanting to move soon?
I don't like this place. I don't like it at all.
You don't like it at all?
Yeah, Texas sucks.
Texas sucks. Yeah. Yeah, and let's see here. What year did you buy that place? You're in? Yes, ma'am.
In 25.
In 25. All right.
Yeah, last year.
You bought it last year.
I still get 100. It's on the 8,000, so $7 on it.
Okay.
So how much you think you can get me for it?
Well, how much do you want?
The money that I have on it is 100, and it's on the 8,000. I think it's $7 until I check it. God, driving right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but the value of the house is 300. I think 320,000.
370?
The value of the house?
Yeah.
I'll come in. That give me a little. Let me just go to my account quick and see. All right. Yeah.
I see you're relocating. Where are you looking to go?
I'm trying to move Texas.
Texas.
Yeah.
Where at?
I'm located is K-A-T-Y.
Katy? Katy, Texas?
Yeah, Katy. Yeah.
Interesting. You got a job lined up, or what's causing you to move to Katy?
I got family there.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, so I want to move around there.
Did you already start looking at some places, or kind of?
Yeah. Okay. I get. Okay, it's $178,595.20. Remaining on pay principal balance. That's it. At the money on it now.
Okay.
So the loan that on the house now is $178,595.20.
Okay.
Yeah. So how much you think you give me?
Well, it kind of depends. I just got it pulled up right now. I know you're looking to relocate. You've been looking at some places. You planning to buy something, or are you looking to rent?
I'm planning to buy a place.
Oh, that's awesome. These pictures that I see online. It's super clean. Is it all still wood and in the same condition?
Yeah.
Right. How come you're not listening to this thing? How come?
I'm gonna check on Steven real quick and see how his conversation's going.
Okay. Okay.
Probably won't be able to hear him, RJ, with his headset.
Mm-hmm. That does sound beautiful. Yeah. Is that around? Is that around where you grew up there?
I think he's struggling knowing what to offer on that. I don't think he's seeing my chat over here. I don't know what the asking price is. Braden's just taking pictures.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you close deals.
Yeah.
I love it. Cameron, are you still on the phone?
No, he had to go, so he told me he's going to call me back in 5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Is it a deal?
I haven't gotten that far. He owes 108. He's moving to Katy, Texas, and he doesn't want to sell with an agent because he wants it done faster. But it's super clean, so we're gonna see.
We heard all the Katy and all the what he owed and stuff. I just did. What was his asking price? He never told you.
Never told me. He just keeps saying, "What can you offer me?" So,
gotcha. So that's why it felt like y'all were going around and around. Like it felt like you were trying to pull something out of him, and he just wasn't telling you. So
super thick accent too. So
yeah, he was hard to understand.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Well, let's go back to Steven here.
He's got to hold that right up to his headset.
Yeah, I'd have to make sure it was like a safe investment. Golly.
Tap us in, Steven.
It's
Mine didn't change.
We're looking to sell it.
Awesome.
maybe
How much you looking to
if
get
you
for
like
it?
hired.
Well, the best we can.
I like that.
It's in good shape. I mean, we're, the market here in Meddar's okay. So, it's a nice home on a corner lot, 3-bedroom, 2 bath. I've restored all of it. I got a little bit left to do, but nothing major. Everything 99% done.
99% done.
99%. All you got to do is put some linoleum in the laundry room, and finish putting the rail around the deck, and putting a track for the where the trash can goes in the counter. The track is messed up, so that's it.
99% done. We're going to transfer over to Ken. Hopefully, this is not 99% done. Unmute, Ken. Oh, dang it.
He got the house, and instead of him losing it, we bought it. We bought it from the PennyMac, the company we had it at, and we've had it for quite a few years.
And me and my children are gonna leave, and I mean we're moving to another house, and I need the money.
Okay. Is that divorce finalized, or are you still kind of in the process of it? Where are you at in that timeline?
Well, it's a common law marriage, so we just kind of that's taken care of. We're just basically just walking away from each other.
All right. Let's see here. I'm actually pulling it up here now. I did lose you there for a second. You said it's a common law marriage, and then you kind of faded out.
Oh yeah, it's a common law marriage, so it's all the property. The only thing that we have together is the property. So we're both in agreement to sell the property.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see here. You said that you didn't want to list it with the realtor just because of that timeline. Is there anything else that's stopping you from listing it?
Well, I mean, we have a meeting. He just wants to see what other options we have as far as anybody. He said that he saw a bunch of ads on Facebook. I don't know if he's trying to reach out to anybody or anything. Mm-hmm. I figured I would just to see what kind of offer we would get versus waiting 6 months to try to sell.
Mm-hmm. So how soon would you be looking to sell this? Hey, Valerie? I know you said you were driving through a rough signal area. I'm having a hard time hearing you. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me, Valerie?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. You did kind of fade out there for a second. I know you said you had a meeting, and then you totally cut out there for me.
Oh yeah, no, we have a meeting with a realtor on Thursday, but we were just trying to see what are other options you have versus going with the realtor to try. We've been for for my owner probably for a month and a half, almost 2. We've gotten some people that are interested, but not really anybody that's really followed through. So.
You said you've had it listed for sale by owner for about a month and a half?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the feedback been from those the buyers that you've spoken to so far that haven't performed? I cannot hear you, Valerie. I do apologize.
I'm gonna cut it out. If you want to give me a call back in 5 minutes, that's probably better.
Okay.
I can tell you all about it because ultimately we either do business or we don't. And, I ain't gonna lie to begin with.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot you straight and kind of, if I can be a great solution for you, which I hope I am, then of course I'd love to do business with you. But if I can point you in a direction that can help you out, because I know you said you've never done this before, so at least if I can put in my expertise and move you forward, I'll do that as well.
Well, I'd appreciate any help. I know what the taxes say that the house is worth. I know what that you get a little more than that usually, and I know what our what we have left to pay on it is, and I know it's right close to the school. It's not too far from the school. It's right around the corner from the recreation department. It's in a good location. You see the home. I hope if it's the picture that I've seen a few times, it's a good picture.
Yeah, I got it pulled up. Really good picture. So, are you guys looking, like you said, you got a ton of equity in this? Are you looking for simplicity and basically just no worries and convenience?
Would love to do that, but of course that comes with a cost.
Yeah, that's where I was getting. That's where I was getting.
I know that. I know it comes with a cost, but it depends on how much that cost is.
Absolutely.
If it's too low, then no, we're not going to fool with it. But we'll just put it on the market with a realtor and take our chances with that. But this is an option and that's really, I guess you hit the nail on the head. That's really why we're doing it. My wife's a psychologist. She's busy. I'm a plant manager and a pastor. And she's 63, I'm 63. We're just, we don't want our life's complicated enough. We don't want complicated.
Yeah, I can definitely be a solution in that regard. What I do is, we come in with cash, no contingencies. We make things a very smooth and seamless process where you don't have to wait on market. You don't have to deal with showings. You don't have to, deal with all of the stuff that comes along with being on market. Because you essentially have to wait for someone to come across that likes the home.
Right.
And that could be
Right.
3 months. It could be 6 months.
Oh, it could be.
You know, it really
Like
just
I said,
depends.
I'm not in a big hurry.
That was weird.
What happened?
I don't know. It started making a weird sound and Cam muted himself. That was weird. Jerry, we might have I might have dug ourselves a hole here, buddy.
How?
I'm trying to figure out what our exit strategy is here.
Bouncing around everybody.
I'm trying to figure out what mine and yours exit strategy from this live stream is.
Oh. Yeah, my internet was about to go down.
Yeah, mine too. Oh, we're approaching that 3-hour mark. I need to stand up. I need to.
I went and took a leak. I couldn't wait any longer.
I'm about to just leave this going with them. Just like you boys unmute yourself whenever you want.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I think this is one of my favorite live streams that we've done on here. From the aspect of we got to see a bunch of different types of calls, the full retails, the ones that are motivated but needed to come down on price. Even one of the things we didn't touch base on with Braden's close, which Braden, I know you can unmute yourself. Original asking price,
anything y'all was talking about whenever I was on the phone closing deals. So.
Yeah, the original asking price was 60, wasn't it? And you got it locked at 29.
Yep.
That's a pretty significant from a percentage standpoint. Basically, Braden, I'll just summarize what Jerry and I felt. We felt like the only thing that you really need to work on was tightening up the phone process in comparison to your belly to belly. We could definitely see how you are a lot more comfortable on belly to belly appointments.
Yeah.
So there's things that you kind of rushed on the phone. And then also we both felt like you somewhat negotiated against yourself. When you said I need to be at the price that the seller that you paid, and he said that is not going to work for me, you should have then asked, what can you do?
Yeah.
Because we both felt like he would have said, well, I need the 20, but then I also need the 4 for the taxes. Then you could have gotten it at 24 or even less. Whatever you split, like Jerry even said, well, what if we split the taxes? What about 22 or something like that?
Yeah.
And overall, though, I just felt like the main thing that stood out to me was some of the language that you used and how much more comfortable you probably are sitting in someone's living room and saying, like, I'm your guy. Like, I'm wiring you this money in 14 days. And I almost felt like you didn't know how to not say that.
Yeah, no, that's good.
And I almost want to be like, Braden, are you buying this house in South Carolina?
I might. I mean, I'm looking at it, bro. I might have to just buy it, but I probably won't. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, I would recommend that you don't buy that. I think you just need to wholesale it. But overall, man, I thought you did a really good job there. I could absolutely see how when you walk into a house in Columbia, like you're walking out with the contract because you're the buyer, and that's what you want to do. You want to embrace that mentality on the phones, but there's definitely things that you probably need to tighten up on the phones.
For sure.
So Jerry was talking about some of the specific language they use, like escrow. You probably explained that in person, but on the phone, he was like, what is happening in 3 weeks? And he just said, we need to be like, we're closing. I'm going to give you 25 grand. You eventually said it, but it was awkward listening to it where he was like, tell me what's happening in 3 weeks. So
sure. That makes sense. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But overall, man, signed contract. That's what we're in this for. There you go.
Yep.
Good work.
Steven said he just got to use the split the taxes line. immediately taking the feedback and implementing it. I love it. So
yeah. Well, you see, the guy, he wanted to make some money on the deal. He basically he couldn't do the 20, and if we did the 25, and I guess I could have. You're right. You could have split the taxes with him or something like that. But
you
I
should have just asked.
Yeah.
That was the issue. Is that you said I want to pay what you paid for it.
Yeah.
And then he said no. And then instead of saying, well, what can you do? You made assumptions and then came back with the 25.
Gotcha.
And so we just don't know what would have happened. That's the issue.
Yep.
Is if you say, what can you do? What if we would have said 22 instead of 22 plus the taxes?
Yeah.
That's $3 more grand in your pocket.
For sure. That makes sense. That's good. Thank you.
So it's one of those, but again, like Jerry said it when you were closing this, we're talking about like these 1% needle movers.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yep. I appreciate you both.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you gave me a chance to get home. I was praying right before. I was like, Lord willing, if you will, we're going to get a contract on this live. And I had the utmost confidence. If it was going to happen, it's going to be his will. So, I think it's a deal.
Yeah.
We'll make some money on it. So
I love it, man. Well, hey, I know you've got a busy schedule and all that, so and you're not on the phone. So if you want to get out of here, we're trying to find a way to wind this down. So
okay. All right.
if I can individually kick you guys out of here, there you go.
I digress.
Good job. Congratulations. We'll make a little throne of a YouTube video for you closing the deal. We'll get a pretty picture of you, AI you up, and we'll throw you on the channel, okay?
That sounds good. Shoot me a text, and we'll chat about what's going on with this deal.
I love it. See you, man.
See you guys.
See ya.
All right. I think Steven's closing the deal. I'm going to unmute him real quick.
You filled out a form on my website telling me you were.
Oh, no, he's starting all over
He's
again.
calling a new lead.
No.
Yeah. We could, I mean, they could just keep calling and we end it. That's probably what you'll have to do.
I think so. I think we're losing people anyways.
Yeah.
So we're just going to do that. Jerry, next week, me and you are going to go live.
Let's have some fun.
How many deals are we going to close? Let's set a goal.
How many hours are we going?
2 to 3. No more than 3. After 3, we lose people.
We better do at least a contract per hour. We've done. What have we done? I don't know. I mean, we usually always get 1 or 2, don't we?
We usually at least both will send a contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking 4 contracts.
Okay.
2 each. So one and out.
Okay.
Maybe we need to loosen it up a little bit and just like dial simultaneously. Because I think that's one of the issues is that, like, say you're dialing, maybe it takes you 5-10 minutes to get someone on the phone. And then it's like, oh, you have a 20. I remember one time it was like we were at the 2.5 hour mark. And it was like we each had only had like 2 or 3 conversations.
Yeah, because they were long calls. The only problem with that is if we both get one and they're good ones, only one gets missed. But
I know.
And then I also, like, when you're on the call, I mean, I'm actively taking notes. I'm looking at the property. I'm thinking, what would I do in this situation? Because I want to be able to give value and feedback.
Yeah, let's not change it up. Let's stick to that. So, but anyways, we'll go live next Tuesday.
Okay.
So you'll actually see us in action. But to Braden, Cam, Steven, Ken, Quinn, really appreciate you guys hopping on here and doing this. It was awesome to watch. I know it's a little nerve-wracking coming on. Some of you guys have been on here before, but these some new faces. Braden, Cam, Steven, haven't seen them before.
I was going to say earlier, RJ, I just want to shout out to you and Titanium because your students, I mean, we're talking small things here, but you can feel the confidence. They're following a process. Like, all they need to do is show up and they're doing deals, because they're going to be in the right place at the right time. Everything we're doing is just how to improve a little bit, how to get more money out of the contract, how to close some tricky ones, how to build a better relationship for the follow-ups. You know, it's the little stuff that ends up making a big difference in the long run. But your students are well trained. They're putting in the work, and I'm just proud of everybody. Proud of you guys.
Thank you. And listen, I watch some of these guys. I've seen them come from like literally not knowing what to do at the beginning and to where they are now. And to see some people come from like another community or another program that it didn't work, they were lost. And now to see like people like Cameron be able to quit their W-2. I'll even embarrass Braden. Braden called me. He had been in the community for maybe 2-3 months. And he was like, listen, bro, I just don't think that this is going to work out for me. And he was like, is it cool if you just refund me my money? And like, I'm just going to go do something else. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I was like, why did you get into this? And he tells me, and basically from that conversation, ever since then, Braden and I have had a great relationship. And I've seen him go from, I'm going to be a nationwide virtual wholesaler to, well, that was dumb. I was just listening to what RJ does. And actually what I want to be is an end buyer in Columbia, Missouri. And I want to do it this way. And I actually want to really focus on my ministry and bringing people closer to God. And that's what he's doing. And so now it's like all of us inside of TU have these always worthy shirts that he's made, and he's got a mission. And now you just see it, like he's happy. Yeah. Right. And when we say create your own reality, that's what we mean. Like, dude, you don't have to go be a nationwide virtual wholesaler. You can do whatever you want. Yeah. He buys, flips, wholesales, and owns rentals in Columbia, Missouri. And so it's awesome to see that kind of growth inside of the community and seeing the calls today. This is the first time I've seen Steven on the phones. He's been with us for 6 months. I've seen Ken where literally, I mean, the first time he was on here, I just chewed his butt out for like 30 minutes. Quinn, the growth was incredible. So just, I love seeing this. And so I appreciate you, Jerry, for the people that you've brought to TU and to shine like the light on this community. And I say it all the time. Yeah, closers formula, web formula, what we teach is important. TU isn't a special place without people like this, though. It's the people inside of it that have made it really something, and to see the partnerships and the community. Quinn has learned a lot from RJ and Cassie. The growth that we saw today, though, I can tell you, comes from the reps that he's put in with other TU members on Discord, listening inside of office hours with Danny Herman, role playing with other TU members. I know that. I don't sit here and want to take all of the credit for Quinn's growth. I know for a fact that he's probably received more growth from the community than directly from RJ and Cassie. And so that's
how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah,
absolutely. So guys, show everybody some love that got on here. It's not easy to get on and call sellers live in front of what they know is going to be thousands of people that watch this. So give them a shout out. They're just trying to find a way to be wholesalers. And so they came in and gave value today. Proud of you guys. Thank y'all for doing that. And next Tuesday, Jerry and I will be live. We'll see you guys tomorrow.